Hello guys. Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi there, is anyone here? Hello. Hi Inugami. Hi Pipi Telepia. Hi there. Oh, thank you for following Cthulhu Seeker. Thank you. Oh, hello Chill. Hi, welcome. How's everyone today? Did you guys just woke up? Hi, that's a very great streaming emote. Hello there. Alright, this is the first time I've shown you guys my clinic room, hey? Welcome to the doctor's office. Yes. Alright. Have I shown you guys before what's in here? Let's see. How can I take this away? Oh, wait. Alright. Have I shown you guys my clinic room before? Oh yeah, you're having your morning coffee. That's good. That's very good for learning. Coffee is very good for learning in the morning. Alright, because this is the first time I've shown you guys this room, let me bring you guys on a tour. Let's take away the box. Let's put myself in the middle. Alright, there you go. This is my clinic, my consultation room. Yes, welcome Cthulhu Seeker. Yes, you're the first time here. Yes, this is the first time I've shown everyone my clinic room. Yes. So there you see, there are medications in here. There are my microscope, some of my alcohol stuff, my sink. Behind me, this is my shelf. Yes, there are some medications, some samples. Yes. At the moment, my clinic room is a little bit empty, but with time it will get a little bit more messy, I would believe. Like all the doctor's room, they get messier as you use them. And yes, there is a very good, useful poster here as well. So this is what we call a body condition score poster. So as you can see, this is how we tell how fat your dog is. So this is what I usually use to shame my patients when they come in and just tell ya, yes boy, you're a little bit chubby, you're on grade 4. Sorry, I do tell my patients where they're at and what they need to do. Yes. So yes, this is what my clinic room. I love your clinic room. Thank you Inugami. Yes. Alright, let's pop me back behind my table and let's get my x-ray box up again. Yes. Alright, so as my title is saying, we are going to talk about vaccinations today. Yes. Your voice is a little bit soft for me again. Maybe I will have to just speak louder, maybe? Yes, because I have pushed my mic the loudest already. Maybe if I put my background music a little bit smaller. Can you hear me a little bit better? I do speak a little bit too soft at times. Maybe I'll try speaking a little bit louder. Is this a little bit better now if I speak closer to the microphone? Yes? Let me move the microphone a little bit. But then it's going to block the thing. Yeah, the tracking won't work if I go too close to my face. Sounds fine for you? Okay. Hello one! Hi there! Congratulations on your debut today. Yes, congratulations. Now you're one of us. Welcome. Alright. Yes. So we're going to talk about vaccinations today. So mainly, I'm just going to talk about theory of what vaccination is, why vaccination is important, what you can expect from getting a vaccinations, and also who should get vaccinated, what kind of vaccinations there are. Just a disclaimer though, I'm not a specialist at immunology. I'm just going to talk a little bit about basics, like dabble a little bit here and there. But mainly, because I'm an animal doctor, I'll be mainly talking about animal vaccinations when it comes to like specific stuff. But I do know a little bit about human vaccinations. If I know, I'll talk a little bit more. Especially, we can talk a little bit about the COVID vaccination, which is what most of the governments around every country are trying to push. So I will try to talk a little bit about that, so that yes, people can know what they're going into. We're trying to get the gang here, Pfizer gang. So Cthulhu is a Pfizer gang, and Troll got Moderna. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think. Oh, Chill, you got AstraZeneca. All right. That's good. I myself has got the Pfizer vaccination, just because that's what I heard that induces the strongest immunity, like an immune response. So that's what I've got to. But I believe different countries offer different brands of vaccination. So, do you give COVID vaccine to animals? No, we don't give that particular COVID vaccine to animals. Animals cannot get COVID. No, that's a strictly human thing at the moment. I would say, at least from what we're knowing. Oh, hi, Imagine, welcome. Everyone's here to have a lesson. Yes. So COVID is technically a coronavirus, if you may. Coronavirus is a family of different type of viruses. We don't have enough time to go into that at the moment, but animals do have their coronavirus as well. So for example, canine coronavirus, that's what causes diarrhea, okay? In cats, coronavirus is what causes mostly diarrhea, intestinal issues as well, but they can cause what we call the feline infectious peritonitis, FIP. That's another thing that we can talk about when we're specifically talking about the animals, okay? But yes, there is coronavirus in different type of animals. If you guys remember SARS, many years ago, the SARS, that's a coronavirus as well. So that's a family of virus. COVID is just a particular one that we're dealing with at the moment. But yes, animals cannot get COVID, it's just humans. Wait, if you're talking about animals at a general sense, I believe there are some vets and some kind of research companies are trying to look at COVID in monkeys, in apes. So they are trying to see whether they will be able to get COVID as well, whether the vaccines that we get can protect them from the COVID as well. So there are very interesting researches going on about the COVID in animal kingdom, but we still haven't got any definite problems yet. Yes, SARS was COVID too, right? No. I think what they were suspecting is COVID was mutated from SARS. That's what some people, like some theories are going on, like it might be related to SARS. Yes. I'm not too sure personally. I don't really know whether anything is confirmed yet, but that's what I've heard. Yes. Okay, we'll talk about the COVID a little bit later. Let's just talk about as a general sense. We'll just talk about in a general sense what vaccines are, okay? If we're talking about vaccines, we have to start with talking about your immune system. All right. Now, have you guys watched Cells at Work? The anime? It was very popular. I'm not too sure, maybe it is still very popular, hey? Yes, Cells at Work. So this time, I am going to kind of talk to you guys using a few characters from Cells at Work. Hi, Weebu bears. Yes. Weebu. Weebu is... It's very easy to learn stuff as a weeb. Yes. So, there we go. We have 5 characters that I've put in there. If you guys have watched this, then you might know who they are, but I'm still going to introduce you to them. I'm not going to talk about the rest of the gang, but these are the 5 guys that are useful in our introduction today, okay? So on the top left corner there we have our macrophage, okay? So this is our macrophage, Mrs. Macrophage. Is it Miss Macrophage? Anyways, macrophage. Next to her on the top row right corner, that's our helper T cell. That's our Silekan, helper T cell, yes. And on the bottom row, left hand side, we have killer T cell. And in the middle, that's B cell, okay? And on the bottom right corner, that's our memory B cell. So these are the 5 components in our immune system that's important to what we will be talking about in vaccinations, okay? So let's start with the main story. So story starts with there's a bacteria that enters, bacteria, virus, any type of things that doesn't belong in your body. Let's just put them as called antigen, okay? Antigen is the word talking about, not this word, pathogen. Pathogen is the word trying to describe any type of things that may make you sick, okay? So pathogen can be a bacteria, a virus, a fungus, yes, any type of pathogen, yes. So basically the immune system do work similarly. The pathway do develop similarly. So any type of pathogen would cause a similar type of reaction to build your immune system. Of course, there are individual difference, but as a general sense, we'll be using any type of pathogen, okay? So a pathogen comes into your body. Hey, it doesn't belong there. So the security is going to start working, okay? So once it's gone into your body, there are patrols, okay? So neutrophil is another patrol. So we're talking about the white costume guy and girls, okay? So they are neutrophils, and macrophage is the ones that's going to go around your surrounding tissues to be a patrol at the surrounding city, okay? So once they identify a pathogen, what macrophage does is that she will be eating up our pathogen. So she will come in, grab your pathogen, and trying to eat it up and store it in the body, okay? So now there is a pathogen that sits inside our body, all right? Now it comes into your body, macrophage carries the pathogen, and it goes into your main circulatory system. Okay, so that's where the vessels and the lymphatic systems are, that's your main road. That's where red blood cells, different type of white blood cells, your blood travels. Okay, so macrophage brings the pathogen into the system, and it most of the time it goes into any of the lymphatic organs. Okay, so for example, lymph nodes. Sometimes your spleen, so they just go into there and they kind of present what they've got. They present the present to the immune cells. Okay, so there we get helper T cells. We kind of present it to different type of T cells and B cells as well. So what your body is going to do when it receives a pathogen, a first pathogen, is going to try and match the history. So to match the memory that your body has. So it goes up to each and single memory cell and just to present it to them and say, do you remember this? Do you remember this? Or next guy comes up and say, have you seen this before? If anyone have seen it before, that means you have an immune system built up with it as well, built up with it already. So in that case, they would just go out and fight the war. In case that's a new pathogen, okay, so that's something new, that's a new friend that comes into your body. So what they're going to do is they are going to develop an immune system. They are going to develop a new immune response specialized to that pathogen. Oh, hey, Mako. Hi, Mama. Mama, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Yes, so we are talking about developing a new immune response. Okay, so once you have the immune response, so let's talk about the difference about the killer cells, the killer T cells and the B cells. So the killer T cell, oops, why are they all connected together? Sorry, let's go. So your killer T cell, this is your guy. So what he'll do, what his role is, he is, as the name says, he is a killer. Okay, so what he'll do, he will kill the infected cells. So the first two cells you mentioned function like scouts. Yes. So the neutrophil, so they do both of the job. So neutrophil and macrophage, they do eliminate and kind of digest what they see around in the peripheral response as well. So what they'll do, they're the first line of defense. So they do kill anything that's easy. They are able to kill, so they will try to fight very hard to try and kill them. Okay, what macrophage does is it does eat it up, digest it a little bit first, and go and present to the rest of the immune system. So they are your frontline security guards, if you may. Okay, so yes, so once they brought it up to the immune system, that's where these three guys, the rest of the guys come in. Okay, so killer T cell, yes. So the killer T cells, what he does is he kill your body cells that are infected. Okay, so they are very useful for viral infections, because viral infections, they need to infect your own body cells, your own cells, to try and reproduce and duplicate. Okay, so what killer T cells do is to kill your cells that get infected. If you remember from the Cells at Work show, he is the guy that kills the influenza infected cells. Okay, so that's what he does. All right. So, yes, this is what this guy does. Oh, why does everyone move together, man? All right. So B cell, this guy in the middle. So if you can remember, what his job is he is going to produce antibodies. So he's going to produce some antibodies that is going to neutralize the pathogen and kind of neutralize toxins as well. And yes, so it's kind of, he is a production industry to produce the weapon. So he doesn't kill the pathogen personally. He produces something to go and kill them. Okay? So these are the two cells that are going to develop your main immune response. Alright, so the story goes, they too started to develop a plan and going to kill the invader. So now they know what to do. They developed the plan already, they remember the plan, they know the plan. So now the pathogen is killed. It's gone. You're healthy now because it's gone. Okay? The next step, and this is the main step for vaccinations, the reason why vaccinations will help you in the future is this freaking out guy. This guy that's freaking out there. Okay? So his name is memory B cell. What he does, he is actually transformed from this guy. So in reality, this guy, once he knows what to do with the thing, he will transform into this guy. So he will wear on a suit and he will start sitting in the office. Yeah? So yes, he will start becoming an office guy and he will start being a memory B cell. So a little side note on difference of the cells at work and in your true body cell is that it's not one single cell that do everything. So it's not one memory B cell that remembers everything. Okay, so each and single different new pathogen, a new bacteria, new virus, they actually develops a new particular memory B cell to remember it. So it's a specialized B cell from then on. So there are actually a lot of different cells, different memory cells. Okay. Are the antibodies the B cells produce specific to the pathogen they fight? Yes, you're right. Oh, you're very smart. Yes, so the antibodies, they do target only one single thing. So they can only do one thing. So what it does, let's dabble in a little bit deeper, is that different type of pathogens have different type of receiver on their service, so their cell service. Okay, so different type of antibodies does different things. So some antibodies can kind of say stop them from replicating. Some antibodies stop them from entering a cell. Some of them can neutralize their toxic effect. I can't remember. There's a whole list of things that different antibodies can do, but yes, basically saying different antibodies do different things. Yes, there are a possibility that for a particular pathogen, there might be a few different antibodies that can be developed to them as well, because they have quite a few surface protein in there. So yes, that's some speculations. Okay, so yes, going back on the topic. Yes, this memory B cell there, so he will remember. He has a very good memory. That's what his name come from. So what he's going to do is he will remember, and now you're healthy. You don't have the threat anymore. The invaders are gone. So most of the responders, most of the B cell and most of the T cell that gets developed, recruited for your particular episodes of sickness, they will actually die off. Okay, so they will reduce in number, and only few of the memory cells will leave behind. Okay, now only the memory cells leave behind. That means that next time, the only ones that will be remembering what happened this time is the memory cells. So next time when they come in, so now you healed your body now, and the other day you've exposed yourself to the same fucking pathogen again. So you go up to the same flu family and you sniffed in that flu again. So what's going to happen is that memory B cell, he will go around and kind of say, hey, I remember this guy. So so macrophages or the neutrophils, they will kind of grab it and present it to the memory cells, and the memory cells will say, yes, I remember you. I've seen you before. Now he knows what to do, so he's just going to replicate and produce all the army that knows how to do it. He will produce the whole big army to fight your same infection again. So what that means is that your response, it will be quicker, and it will be more sophisticated, and it will be stronger, because they know what to do this time. They know the plan, so they will be stronger. Okay, in this case, that means everyone will be it will fight it off really quickly. Yes. I realized that someone followed me a little bit earlier and I didn't welcome them. Welcome, I'm Nuku. Welcome. I didn't realize that you were here. Welcome to the family. Hey. Hi there. Yes. Okay. So basically that's the whole story of, well, that's not a whole story, that's a brief story of how your immune system works. Alright? Let's say goodbye to these people. Alright. Bye, guys. Alright, I'm just going to have a little typey. Hello. Yay. Hello. Yes, so we're going to use this X-ray box as a little blackboard today. I'll just type a little bit of notes here and there so that you can remember and follow the whole trend, and you don't have to kind of have a whole remember to what I've said. Okay, so now yes, so what the immune system does, it doesn't protect you from exposure, it doesn't protect you from exposing to the pathogen again. So they don't stop the pathogen from coming into your body a second time. What they can only do is to train your body to react to the pathogens a little bit faster and a little bit stronger, so you can minimize the clinical symptoms so they don't develop into a full-blown disease. So you have less symptoms, and also they can kind of shorten your infectious period. So the less time that you have that pathogen in your body, the less time frame that you're going to give it to the next person. Okay? So yes, just remember this theory at the moment. Okay, so that's how your immune system should work. Now, next thing we're going to talk about, before moving on to the next thing, let's just have a little question here. Do you guys have any more questions? Do you guys understand well what I'm talking about? And anyone want to ask any questions before we move on to the next one? Yes? If no one have any questions, yep, I think I understand well. Good, you guys are very good students. That's good. That's good. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next part of the types of vaccine. Types of vaccine. Alright. Does antibodies ever attack good cells? Technically, no. Okay? So, because they are quite specialized to whatever they are going to attack, there is a very, very slim chance of them attacking the good cells. That means your own cells. So, like I said, the antibodies don't attack your cell. That's the killer T cells' job to attack the infected cells. Okay? So, theoretically, if you don't share the same receptor with that type of disease, they wouldn't attack your good cells. Yes, but what that's going the other side of the story is that killer T cells, they do attack any cells that are infected with with the virus, because T cells usually it's most likely to be doing with like the viral infected cells, right? So for example, let's use COVID as an example. So one of the side effects of COVID is that you will have permanent lung damage, right? So you will have too many scarring around your lung that it's very unlikely or very slow to regenerate. The reason with that is because the virus spread very quickly all along all the cell, And the killer T cells, your immune system, come by and say, everyone's infected, I'm going to kill everyone. So it doesn't give you a chance to recover the cells, and he just go out and kill everyone. So one of the kind of say control medication that was used in COVID is steroid. So what steroid does is going to dampen your immune system. It's trying to kind of suppress it a little bit, so that it doesn't cause too much permanent damage. Okay, so that's the reality of having a viral infection, is that your immune system sometimes will do more damage than the virus itself. Yes? Does this apply to people with autoimmune disorders as well? The antibodies don't actually attack your cells. Well, autoimmune disorder is another story. That means autoimmune disorder means that your own immune system thinks that your own tissue cells are foreign body. They think they are pathogen. So in that case, because they wrongly think that your cells are pathogen, so in this case they are attacking your own cells, because that's an autoimmune problem. That's a disorder. That's a disease. So it's your immune system causing your own problem. So let's put it this way, it's your own problem. Yes, so it's not about the pathogen. So it's your immune system going haywire and attacking your own self. So in this case, well, we'll talk about that later in other streams. Maybe we can dedicate it some time to this. But yes, so autoimmune disease is another extreme, that your immune system goes crazy, goes haywire. Okay? Okay. Yes. Is that all? Is that all questions? Do you guys have a little bit more? Otherwise, I'm going to move on to the type of vaccines that we're going to say. Yes? Okay. Alright, so there are different type of vaccines. So what vaccine does is to artificially kind of introduce a pathogen into your body, so that your body recognizes the pathogen, and next time when you encounter the real deal, they will know what it is, and like I said, responds faster and responds stronger, so that you don't actually get the disease. Okay, so what vaccine does, yes, it's going to inject a certain part, a certain version of the pathogen that we are trying to protect you from into your body. Okay, types of vaccine. Number one. So the first one is the most ancient, the most traditional one. It's live, or sorry, am I typing? No, sorry, I'm typing in the chat. I'm sorry. So it's live attenuated. Sorry, I'm not very good at spelling. Live attenuated, or some people call it modified. Okay. Oh, I don't like how it goes. Like this. Alright. So, live attenuated or modified vaccine, that means that the pathogen in the vaccine is actually still the pathogen. It's still a version of a real deal. It's still the whole thing. Okay? So, live, that means they're still alive. And attenuated, that means they're weakened. Okay? Or modified, that means that they are kind of mutated into a certain way, so that they are not going to cause any more troubles. Okay, so as a brief sense, as a general way, it's kind of engineered. They will pass it. They will kind of engineer it through a different kind of cells. They're going to pass it through some cells in the lab, so that they're going to weaken it step by step until to a point that the pathogen is not going to replicate in your body. It's not going to kind of reproduce in your body, so that it's not going to make you sick. So they're not going to become large enough number to kind of make you sick. Okay, so that's what we call the live attenuated modified vaccine. So it's still the real deal, but it's weakened a weakened version of it. All right. Second type of vaccine. Let me have a look at my notes. Yes. So, second type of vaccine. Sorry. Welcome, Myo. Welcome. Good evening. Yes. So we use a version of the real deal just to get the memory for the B cell. Yes, that's right. So this is the most traditional way of the vaccine. There are not a lot of live vaccine in human medical kind of the field at the moment, just because of later we'll be talking about benefits and disadvantages of each and single one of them. But a little bit of a history lesson. When vaccine were developed, if I remember right, that's cowpox. That's what we used, what we discovered what vaccines are, okay? The main idea of having a vaccine. So what they did was to take the scab of the infected people, of the people that got cowpox. They picked their scab off, grind it up, and let the healthy people drink it, okay? So in the scab, there are the real deal. There are the cowpox virus in the scab. They grind it up so that you drink it, so that it enters your body, so that your body will kind of expose to it and know what it is. Okay, so that's the kind of the first and the kind of the first live vaccine that was discovered. And yeah, that's how vaccines came from. Yeah, that sounds awful. No, it doesn't sound awful. That's how well, some people do get the cowpox, but they recovered from it and they never get sick again. So similar to koalas feeding their young poop. That's a little bit of a different mechanism of stuff. So it's a different thing. So feeding your own poo-poo, it's talking about the good bacteria in your gut. It's actually it's kind of a flora. What's that called? Microflora transplant. Is that the word? Transformation. Maybe transformation is the proper word. Yeah. So it's actually giving the good bacteria environment in the gut to your young babies. It's a different type of thing. It's not about getting immune system. It's about getting the bacteria, the good bacteria in your gut. Yes. All right. Yes. So that's the history of vaccine. So it used to be live vaccine all the time, but because of it's not that safe, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Or maybe we should talk about it now so that you can know. Okay. Let's change it up a little bit. We'll talk about the benefit of this vaccine, okay? So live attenuated, because they are a live one, they are the real deal, a version of a real deal. They actually gives you a longer and a more robust immune system, because you're looking at the full thing. You're looking at the thing as a general sense. You're not looking at a part of it, okay? So it's actually going to give you a longer immunity and going to give you a stronger immunity. That's the benefit of it. But on the other hand, the disadvantage of this vaccine is that there is a thing called revert to virulence, okay? So that means that they have the potential of going back, turning back into a problem. They can actually give you the virus or the bacteria. All right. Oh, welcome. Thank you for following. Huang Yang Zhao. Welcome for follow. Yes, we're talking about vaccinations here. All right. Yes. The one of the disadvantage, yes, for live vaccine is they can make you sick as well. So it's a very rare chance. Depends on what type of live vaccine, how they're made. But yes, they can actually give you the actual disease itself, and you can actually pass on the disease to someone else. Okay? You mentioned longer. Do the B cells forget or die off eventually? Well, from what I remember, I can't remember the exact way of it, but I do think that the memory B cells do die off, because like I said, the memory cells are specific to the pathogen. Your body is going to sort itself out. If it's not being used for a certain period of time, it will die off naturally, the memory B cell. So if it's not strong enough, they don't remember enough, they will go away. So they're saying that maybe I overreacted, or maybe it's not a threat anymore, I'm going to die, bye. Yes, that's what I remember from. Yes, I'm trying very hard to remember what the university taught me like a few years ago already. But yes, I'm just trying to go into briefly at the moment. To details way, I will have to do a full revision again. But yes, yes, that makes sense. Yes. So that's why there are quite a few vaccinations that we actually need boosters. Okay, but yes. I'm sorry for asking so much. No. It's actually good. It actually makes me remember back all my knowledge. I need all this knowledge. But yes, so there are vaccines that you need booster every year, every few years. We are going to go into which one that needs it and which one later on. But from what I remember, what I remember more are like dog vaccinations. You actually need to bring your dog in for vaccination boosters every year or every 3 years, depending on what type of vaccines you get. Yes. So that's the good and the bad for a live vaccine. Yeah. You get a stronger immune response, but then you have a chance of getting the problem as well. The recent live vaccines, they are kind of more developed now, not like the ancient vaccines that they are higher chance of giving you the problem. At the moment, most of them don't give you the real deal anymore, because they are more sophisticated. They're more engineered better, and more tested. Yes. All right. Second type of vaccination. So we are going to go into the inactivated or a killed vaccine. Okay. So this type of vaccine, they're either treated by heat to kill them off, or chemically treated so that most of them are rendered defenseless, or like de-weaponize them with chemicals. Okay, so this type of vaccine, it's a lot safer, and it's actually it's still the real deal. Okay, so it's still the whole pathogen, it's still in its whole, but they are killed, so they are a little bit more safer. They are not going to give you the real thing because they died already. Okay, and they're still going to give you a pretty good immune response, not as good as the live one, but yeah, it's still a pretty good one. Okay, that's not much to talk about this one. The third type of vaccination, it's a toxoid vaccination. Okay, so this we can kind of, some people put it into the same inactivated vaccine kind of category, but personally I do think they are a different thing. A toxoid vaccine, they are made specifically for why do we ever use live? Yes, why do we ever use live vaccine? Okay, so it depends. So whether politically, in a kind of medicine policy kind of thing, sometimes it doesn't take as long to develop for the live vaccines than the rest of the vaccines that we're talking about, and it's easier to make. And sometimes, like I said, because they give you a stronger immune system. So for some type of diseases that's not going to cause too much of a trouble, for example, kennel cough in dogs, okay, they just make you cough. They don't do much. They just make you cough for kind of 4 to 6 weeks. They don't do much. They just spread far. They just spread very fast. But they don't make you feel that sick. Yeah, for those diseases, it is actually acceptable to use a live vaccine, because anyways, if you're gonna get it, it's not a big deal anyways. You just want to control the disease spread. You just don't want that many dogs get it. You just don't want that to spread among the community. That's why you want to vaccinate every one of them. So in this case, it's a benefit of using a live vaccine, because it's giving you a stronger immunity and it's easier to make. Okay, so there are different situations, different diseases that you can use. You can choose different type of vaccines. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to stop myself from asking, but I accidentally hit send while typing. No, ask it. Some people might be thinking about the same question, but they're too shy to ask. Or some people might watch the VOD and they might want to ask the same question. So ask any questions you have. I can explain it. And more people will get the answer of the same question. Yes? Don't, like I said in the rules, no questions are too stupid. Ask it and I'll answer it. Okay? There are benefits to asking too much questions. Yes. Yes, you're doing a good job, PP Tilapia. Yes. Thank you for asking. Alright, yes. So you have to choose what type of vaccine you want to use specifically for each type of diseases. There will be kind of say what's that called? A committee? Yes, there will be a committee that will be talking about when they develop vaccines, that what type they want to make. So yeah, that's actually the same questions that they're going to ask themselves. What type of vaccines am I going to make this time? Yes. Alright, let's continue. So toxoid vaccine. So some of the diseases, some bacteria, for example, tetanus, okay? So the bacteria itself, the pathogen itself, it's not actually going to make you sick. It's what they produce that will make you sick. So they are going to, for example, for tetanus, they're the bacteria, Clostridium, I believe it's Clostridium tetani. It will produce a neurotoxin that will make you spasm. Okay, that will kind of tighten all your muscle and make you stiffen up all your muscle. Okay, so in this case, if we are talking about specific these type of diseases, we will be using a toxoid vaccine. Okay, so that's actually giving you a certain type of the toxin, and it's training your body to go against that toxin. Okay, so that's one of the way of doing toxoid vaccination. Not every disease can use a toxoid vaccine. I can't remember more other than tetanus, just because that's the one that I mostly think about, I mostly need to use. But yes, tetanus is one of them. The fourth type of vaccine, it's called a subunit or a conjugate vaccine. Okay, so as what subunit means, it's not a full vaccine, it's just a part of the vaccine. Okay, so I'm not going to go into deeply what's the difference of them. That will drag my stream like 5 hours long. But basically what it means is it kind of gives you a certain part of the pathogen, or it makes your body make a certain part of the thing, of the real deal, and your body's going to recognize that little part. So next time when the real pathogen goes into your body, it's going to search around and identify that little part, and it's going to make antibodies against that little part. Okay, so talking about the benefit of this vaccine, so because it's a subunit, it's just a part of the thing. It's not going to give you anything. It's not going to give you the real deal, okay? You're not going to fall sick for that. Yes, it's quite safe, okay? So yeah, I'm just looking at my notes and see what else did I write. Sorry, I might stutter a little bit because I have my notes. But yeah, so they will have to choose what type of the pathogen, what part of the pathogen to show your body. So it's like the B cells just gets a picture of the face instead of seeing the whole pathogen. Yes, you're right. Yes. So what we're talking about just now is surface protein. So a part of the pathogen, the antigen. Okay, so they're just going to choose this part looks pretty important to the vaccine or to the pathogen. Let's just take that part out. Let's just take a picture of it and replicate it and send it into your body. And next time if you see the nose of this thing, it will know that it's the whole thing. So yeah, so it's a kind of a brief introduction to it, but yes, so it's just a little part of it. So yeah, the benefit is not going to give you anything, but there are quite a lot of disadvantage to it as well. So for example, it depends really highly on what part of the pathogen that you're going to take, okay? So it is not going to prevent the disease if the disease mutated and it doesn't have that part of its body anymore. So if the pathogen changes and evolves itself and it doesn't have that part on it anymore, then the vaccine that you got, it's useless because it doesn't have it anymore. So next time if the real thing come in, the mutated real thing come in, you can't recognize it because you only get the picture of it. Now the picture is not, it's not the same anymore. Yeah, so it's not going to protect you anymore. So that's one of the disadvantage of it. Yeah, and of course, again, it's going to give you quite a short period of protection, and it's not as strong as well. Okay. Yes. So, for example, we're talking about influenza virus. It's going to take a little part of it, and it's going to give you that little part of it. And when the influenza mutates, which every year we're hearing different type of mutations of influenza coming up all the time, like H5N1, H7N7, all those kind of numbers. They are all still influenza virus. They are a different mutation of the influenza virus. So when we take a certain part of that certain version of the virus, we are going to go for only that certain version of it. Once they mutate again, it's not going to, it's possibly, not always, it's possibly not going to protect you against the other version of it again. That's another challenge of the COVID vaccination thing, is that we're talking about COVID mutating here and there. We say the UK strain of it. We're talking about is there one India strain of it? Yes, we're talking about different strains of the same virus. So once they mutate, it may not protect you against that anymore. So do we use subunits so often just because it's safer? It seems very specific. Yes, so like I said, because it doesn't give you the issue, it will be very good to use for the diseases that's going to kill ya. So COVID, it's going to kill ya. It has very serious complication. So it's safer to use the subunit vaccination. And especially because we don't understand COVID fully yet. We are still just having a little peek into COVID. It is much safer if we don't give you the real thing accidentally and you die from it. Yeah. yeah, so subunit vaccination, it will be very useful for the diseases that you can actually die. Yes. Oh, welcome, Couch. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Yes. We are on to different type of vaccines now. If you want to learn about the previous stuff that we have talked about, you'll have to watch the VOD later. Yes. Yes. So, yeah, we're talking about what we're talking about again. Yes, the subunit vaccination. Yes. Yeah, influenza. Influenza is actually having a very high kill rate in elderly people and in children as well, in immunocompromised people. Still up to this date, influenza has a higher kill rate than COVID. So yes, for these two type of viruses, I would suspect having a subunit vaccination, it's much safer than having the live vaccination. You don't want to go in to get your COVID vaccination and then the next day you got diagnosed with the COVID and die from it, right? Yes. So, yes, that's most of the vaccination. Yeah. Oh, there's one that's not... that's just on the note of COVID. Let's talk about viral... Wait, sorry, my typing shit. Viral vector vaccines. Yes, I'm typing very slow. So viral vector vaccines. It's a type of subunit vaccine. Yes, catch up later on, but we'll stay and hang out for the remainder of learning. Yes, good for you, Kaush. Good for you. Everyone who's keen for learning, good for you. Yes. So viral vector vaccines, that's actually what the COVID vaccine is at the moment. So we're hearing all of them saying that it's an mRNA vaccine, right? So what it actually is, they take a type of harmless virus, which is the adenovirus at the moment. They put the mRNA part of the virus, okay? The RNA is what kind of produces the protein in your body. It's a kind of a transcribe of the DNA made into mRNA, and then it will make into the product. So it will make into certain type of proteins that comes into your body. So what it does is it puts a part of an mRNA into a virus. The virus comes into your body. It infects your own body cells. It kind of takes your body cells to be kind of a factory. It will produce the mRNA, the protein that you're trying to make it produce, which is a little part of the pathogen, the virus, the COVID virus. And once the protein is produced in your body, then yes, you can recognize it. Yes, it's a Trojan horse. Yes. Oh, I remember the way that I explained to Rio last time is that they have pop IKEA instruction. They have put a little instruction book into a virus and send it into your body and give the instruction of how to create the little part of the virus to your cells. So if you have watched the cells at work, imagine what it does is a virus comes into your body. It's holding a little instruction book. It knocks on your cell's door. It comes in, hands that instruction to the cell in your body, and it looks at it and say, okay, I will be building this. Once it built that unknown thing to them, it gets released into your body, and then your immune system looks at it and say, no, I hate this. I'm going to recognize it as a pathogen. Yes, if Rio can understand, then so can we. Yes, that's a IKEA instruction book. It seems like different types of vaccines for the same virus could be more effective for different people as well. That's interesting. Yes, that's actually the technicality of things. Yes, different people can actually get different type of the vaccines, but it's the difficulty of executing the plan. If you need to have different vaccines for different people, That means the vaccines can only be administered by a doctor who needs to know the patient well and have full body screening to know whether you have any different type of diseases that it might go undiagnosed yet that can pose a danger to you having that type of vaccines. Yes. So it's the difficulty of executing that plan. And if everyone needs to go and see a doctor and get a full body health screen to get the vaccine, it wastes money, it wastes time, and it just doesn't roll out properly. It might discourage people to get that vaccine as well. So it's the kind of a sociology, kind of like what's that called? Human, like psychology, like a herd psychology kind of thing. Sometimes it's better to use the safer vaccine just so that you don't have to screen everyone to make sure that they are healthy enough to get a live vaccine. Yes. Is this why it is good to have a regular doctor? Yes, Couch. Yes, that's why. It's always encouraged for you to have a one and single family doctor for you, if it's possible. Then they will have a whole history of you. They know what medications you had or what you're having, what conditions you had, and maybe it's going to relate to what you're having at the moment. So yes, having a regular doctor is actually a very good thing. Well, I feel like just making an informed decision is more efficient than prescription vaccinations. Yes, but informed decision, that means it's based on education, okay? That's another very difficult part, is equal education level for everyone. That's another challenge of a society. So it's impossible for everyone to be on the same page, to be having a same, how do I put this into not offensive way? So yeah, it's very hard to make sure that everyone can understand and can have the ability to do the critical thinking once they have the decision. And the other issue, that's politics again, is if you want everyone to have a vaccine, it's sometimes better to have people to not know what they're having, just to make them believe blindly in that they should have a vaccine. Then it might have a higher rate of taking the vaccine. So that's actually a politic side of the medical field, like the government. It's whether or not giving a proper education to people, it's actually worth it. Okay. Yes, I'm putting it in a really, really sad way, but that's a reality. Look at all the anti-vax people. There are a lot of them. A lot of the doctors are actually explaining pretty well on what I'm talking, like better than what I'm doing now, to people, to even on shows like specifically to anti-vax people. And they still don't understand. They still think that they shouldn't get the vaccination. And they're still promoting that they shouldn't have vaccination. So that's an effect that we have to think about, whether or not telling or informing everyone. First thing, whether it's practical, whether you can inform everyone. And second, how people will react to this information. Because today what I will be talking to you, some of the information might discourage you from having a vaccination. Okay, so it's each and single like individual decision to make whether or not the vaccine is good for you. But if we think about it in a society, if a general kind of community way, it's better to have vaccination, have a very small percentage of people die because of the vaccination side effects, and have most of the people protected from it. It's the kind of the principle of the greater good. Yeah, it sounds very dark, but that's a philosophical issue. It's the greater good. Okay, so yeah, but then when you think about for individualism, it's not actually a very good thing. yeah, that's what government usually put ahead first, is the greater good. They don't think about, they don't usually, most of the time, think about individual people who get affected by policies. They usually think about greater good first, because that's what governments do. That's what they do. They manage a whole country. They can't manage each and single person of like a few million people. So that's how governments work. Yes. Does that happen often? I'm sorry, I've missed quite a lot of chat. Every time I find a doctor I like, they move to a different clinic a couple years later. Stupid country towns. Yes, that's the medical kind of a staff shortage issue, and kind of an equal pay issue. We'll get into that later. It's fine to put it in a sad way if reality is sad. Yes, the reality is actually quite dark, but think about it in a neutral way. Kind of dissect the whole issue, interpret it in your own way. What I'm doing here is to try to present the information to you in a neutral way, so you get to think for yourself. My sister-in-law is an anti-vaxxer and has several small kids. Should I not visit them to protect them, or just hope nothing bad happens? Okay, so well, if you are fully vaccinated, you are actually protecting them as well. Okay, for the non-vaccinated people, I would recommend them to stay at home and don't go anywhere, and just avoid the world. Okay, because that's where the pathogens are. But for you personally, Couch, if you are vaccinated, you can actually protect them already, because you have a less chance of getting the issue. You have a less chance of spreading it to them. So in that case, you can still visit them because you are vaccinated. The idea is that the more people that are vaccinated, you are going to protect the people that are not vaccinated. Yes, just hope nothing bad happens. I think, yeah, but if your sister-in-law can keep her child indoor, not seeing anyone forever, then yeah, being an anti-vax is okay. They don't need the vaccination. They're not at risk. Do you know what I mean? If they're going to keep them at home, keep them in a cage, don't see anyone at all, they're not going to see the pathogen, then they don't need the vaccine. So that's another thing that we'll be going to talk about, is for animals. Okay, if we talk about specifically COVID vaccination, then because it's everywhere at the moment, then everyone should get vaccinated if they can. Okay, another example is rabies. Okay, there is no rabies in Australia. Then why are we going to get the rabies vaccination? Think about that, yeah? So rabies vaccination is not very common in Australia, just because we don't have rabies here. Yes, so if you are not at risk, you don't have a reason to try and see the pathogen, then you don't have to get the vaccination, because vaccination is not 100% safe, remember? So if it is impossible for you to see it, then you don't have to get it. Can you still be a carrier if you are fully vaccinated but have slight symptoms? Yes, you can. So that is what vaccines is possible. Is they don't protect you from not getting the pathogen. They protect you yourself from having a shorter period of infectious period and kind of a lower response to it, right? So there is still a chance that you can get it and you're still infectious, but because you're not sick, you don't know it, and you're going to give it to someone else. That is possible. But on the other hand, is because you are vaccinated, you have a lower pathogen concentration in your body. It's not as risky. So yes, there is still a chance, yes. Is there less chance of getting the virus when you are vaccinated, or is it just less side effects? It doesn't reduce your chance of getting the virus. Like I said, it doesn't stop you from exposing it. But yes, it's just less side effects, yes. I got a rabies shot before going to the USA on holiday, but not had one before or since. Yes, that's right. If you're going to a place that has a lot of rabies, you're going to work with animals, for example, it's recommended to get a rabies shot. Yes. Well, on this topic, there is a virus called Lyssa virus in Australia that's similar to rabies, and the rabies vaccination is actually going to protect you from Lyssa virus as well. So it's a different type of virus. So so people who work with bats, they're actually going to get rabies vaccination as well, just because they protect against that particular virus that you get from bats in Australia. That's an example. Yes. Have we finished talking about viral vector vaccines? I think we have, yes. The IKEA instruction thing. Yes. So that's what the COVID vaccine is at the moment. It's a IKEA instruction book, got shot into your body built that furniture, and your immune system, your security say that I don't like that furniture and I'm going to destroy all of that furniture from now on. Does that sound interesting? Yes, that's how I explained. Sorry, that's how I explained to Rio like a few months ago when we were talking about this vaccine. Yes, we learned about IKEA vaccine. But yeah, that's a very easy dummy way of explaining it. Body be like, all quality furniture only, no crappy flat packs. Yes, no IKEAs. We need organic quality furnitures. But yes. Alright, so that's the type of vaccine that we have and the benefit or disadvantage of each one of them. Okay? There are more, but this is the basic kind of a brief introduction to things, so I think that's enough. Alright, so we have dabbled into this already. So next we're going to talk about who should get a vaccine. Yes, so like I said, at risk community. So it depends on the I want to ask, when I was a kid, when I got bitten by a dog and I took a rabies shot, during that time we are about to go swimming and they told me that I can join them on the trip, but I can't swim in the pool. I want to know why I can't swim after I took the rabies shot. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure about that. Not too sure. But how did they tell you how long you can't swim after, like in the pool? Maybe could it be because of the jab, the wound that you get with the injection? Maybe you will get botulism, or you might get tetanus from the wound. I'm not too sure. You'll have to ask your doctor about that. Yes. Yeah, unfortunately for human stuff, I just know a dabble of it, but I don't know too in depth to human stuff. If you want to ask about your dog, then I can answer it a bit more. Sorry. I mean, the shot was just the day before the trip. So maybe that's why. Yeah, possible that you might be a little bit sick, and if you get into the pool, you might get like maybe a flu or something. Not too sure. You'll have to ask your doctors for that. Alright. Yes, at risk community. My dog hasn't moved for 8 years. Oh, does that mean your dog has passed away? Or does that mean your dog is paralyzed? Oh, poor thing. Take care of it. Yes. He will be happy if you're still there. Oh, it's a fake dog. Oh my god, you're playing with my emotion, Couch. You're playing with me. Your dog hasn't moved for 8 years. Oh my god. If you tell me your dog hasn't moved for 20 years, then I might suspect something. You played my emotion, Couch. Alright, let's get back to it. Yes, what we call the at-risk community, okay? So, like I said, geographically, if your area doesn't have that issue, you don't have to be vaccinated for it. unless you're going to have a trip to that place. So for example, Ebola virus, it's not everywhere, so not everyone have to get it. If that fake dog moved, you set that thing on fire. Yes. Well, if I have a fake dog for 8 years and it moves, I will be treasuring it like it's my baby. Yes. I will not set it on fire. I will treasure it. Yes. So yeah, geographical issue. If you're not going to have it, you don't need to be vaccinated for it. At-risk community, for example, children or elderly. So for example, the flu shot. Like I said, flu shot is every year. They have new updated flu shot that they recommend you to get. So if you're a children or if you are elderly, it's recommended to get the vaccine every year because you are more at risk at getting the influenza. You might die easier on influenza. For healthy adults getting influenza, you might just get flu symptoms and get better in a few weeks. But for children and elderly, they might die. So in this case, it's recommended for them to get the vaccine. Yes? Then third thing is career risk. Career, okay? So for example, at what age qualifies as elderly? Well, there are different standards that people say. As a general, for myself, around 60 years old. If you're older than 60 years old, I would put you in an elderly range. Okay? And yeah, career risk. So, for example, I am a vet. I get exposed to animals all the time. So if I'm working outside Australia, I would get a rabies vaccination just because I get bitten every day. Yes, I'm at risk. Then I will have my rabies vaccination. If I work with birds, like if I'm a chicken farmer, or if I am a bird vet, then I will get avian influenza shot as well. So like people who work with children's, like teachers as well. Yes. So that's a career risk. You don't want to be giving the influenza to your children. Then yes, get your shot as well. Like elderly carers as well. So that's the career risk of whether you want to get the vaccine or not. Okay. Otherwise, tetanus. Yes, I actually have just gotten my tetanus booster a few weeks ago, just because I got bitten by a rat really badly, and I just remember that my last tetanus vaccination is around 6 to 7 years ago, so I just rushed myself to get another tetanus vaccination. Yes, because we are at risk. Or I guess occupational risk depends on the disease as well. Yes, you're very right. Yes, so it depends on who you work with, what you work with, and where you are. That tells you what vaccine you should get. Okay, so that's if you are confused about what you should need to get, talk to your doctor, talk to your general practitioner if they have a time for you. Then they can listen to your life story, they can listen to your kind of a family history, those kind of things, and then tell you what vaccine you should get. Yeah. So yes, so the at-risk communities. Otherwise, it's the immunocompromised people. So if you have chronic illness, if you have autoimmune disease, if you have AIDS, for example, then yes, you should get vaccine. But you shouldn't get live vaccination. It's better to not get killed vaccination as well. So yeah, if you're immunocompromised, you should still get a vaccine. But the subunit one would be a little bit more better. So talk to your doctor about that if you have a disease, and ask them whether or not you need to get a vaccine. So yes, this is at-risk community. Alright, so the next one, we're going to talk about pregnant women. Pregnant women. So we need to start from the top, is that babies babies, once they get kind of brought into this world, they don't have an immune system. Sorry, so if I'm type 1 diabetic, the subtype vaccine is probably best for you. Yes, I would say so. If you have chronic disease, subtype vaccine is kind of safest for you, but it also depends on whether or not other types of vaccinations are produced. So you'll have to talk to your doctor about what type of vaccinations you're getting. So like I said, some type of vaccines, they might not have companies that have made subunit vaccination available in the market. Then in that case, then you'll have to talk to your doctor and see whether or not you need to get it, because you are more at risk of getting side effects from the vaccine if you get a live vaccine. But if you're at a very high risk of catching that disease, it might worth it to go the dangerous way of doing the live vaccine than to get the real deal from the wild. I forgot the name. No, it's okay. I'm here to remind you. Yes. But yes, so yes, again, talk to your doctor. Each and single condition, like situations, it's not the same. Yes. So I can't tell you too much unless I have a proper consultation with you, but the theory is this. Okay? Yes, let's get back to preggo women. So yes, babies don't have an immune system once they come into the world. Once they get the first milk, which is colostrum from mum, that's where they get the immune kind of protective antibodies from mum. So they get the immune system, the mum's immune system, into themselves through the first milk. So it's definitely recommended. Well, it's not even recommended, I would say it's a must for babies to get milk from their mums at least for the first 24 hours because of the colostrum thing. We do have artificial colostrums. If the mum has difficulty giving milk, so for example, if they have their breast taken out because of breast cancer, if they have difficulty producing milk, there are artificial colostrum available. We shouldn't judge any of the people who chose artificial colostrum, but still, personally, if you can, I would still recommend getting the real thing than getting artificial colostrum. So if breastfeeding, then it is good to get vaccinated. Yes, it depends on how long into the breastfeeding. There are a recommended timeline for vaccinations for pregnant women. The best is to vaccinate 2 weeks before you give birth, because it takes around 2 weeks for your immune response to develop in your body. So you want your immune system to be robust before you feed that antibodies to your baby, because the first 24 hours is when your baby gets the most out of your milk. Okay, after 24 hours, the baby's gut actually closes and it doesn't let any more of those antibodies pass through into the bloodstream. So the first 24 hours is the most beneficial. Colostrum is just the first milk though, right? Yes, colostrum is just the first milk. Yes. The mom's body, your boobies, they're actually quite smart. So they know when you give birth, and they actually produce a much thicker, much concentrated milk compared to later on in your lactation period, the later on milk. Okay, the texture and the kind of the components of the milk is just different. So colostrum is the best milk, I would say. You're learning so much. Yes. That's good for you. Yes. Yeah, that's milk. That's the colostrum. Okay, so like I said, it's recommended for pregnant women to get it 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks before. You can do it a little bit earlier as well, to get your immune system to pass to protect your babies. Okay, I did some research, and the ones that I I kind of got on my list are the flu shot and whooping cough. That's the two things that I found that the FDA recommend pregnant women to get before they give birth. Why do they not teach this in school? Listen, Couch, even sex education is not properly taught in school. Why do you think that this would get taught in school properly? Unless you're learning about biology, like you're into the biology stream. They don't really teach this kind of stuff to kids, which I think they should, but there are a whole list of things that it's just not into the curriculum. I think sex education and health education is actually much important than mathematics. You don't need calculus. Not everyone needs calculus in the future, but everyone needs sex education and everyone needs health information, right? All right, that's a topic for another day. I learned more about sex ed from internet and my parents than I did from school. Yeah, right? They should be teaching it in school. Highly recommended. That's another reason why I set up my channel, is that because I think people are not having enough sex education and health information. They're not learning enough. That's why I'm here, and my goal is to teach you guys this stuff. Be more informed, if you may. Yes. So that's about pregnant women. And yes, I just need to type it on as well. I've talked about this already. Immunocompromised patients. Yes. So yes, this is who should get a vaccine. They don't teach life skills in school. Yes, I know, right? They need to teach you how to pay taxes as well. That's something that you need to learn. But anyways, yeah, I might if I set up like kind of a poll, I might set up polls later and kind of ask you guys what you want to learn at the next stream. Then I might kind of talk about things that people actually want to learn about. Well, you're doing great at making the information digestible so far, Air. Thank you, Tilapia. Thank you. That's a very, very great encouragement for me to do more of these streams. Yes, I would kind of use more IKEA analogy. I will try and use a lot more of these analogies so that you guys can understand more. I wish they taught taxes in school. Yes, I know, right? I still don't really understand taxes in Australia, even though I'm an elf, but because I'm kind of presenting myself as a human out to the community, I have to actually pay taxes like a human. So I need to learn about that. I learned how to do taxes when I became an accountant. Well, that's an occupational skill, but yeah, I think general people needs to learn about that, like at least a basic. Yeah, you don't need calculus. Even me, a CE student, discovered that from my peers. Yeah, I know, right? Who needs calculus? Unless you're a math professor, who needs calculus? All right. Yes. So on the other hand, there's more. Taxes got a lot easier over the last few years. Now taxes can be auto-tracked and can just tick the yes, this is right box. But then when you think about it, you tick the yes, this is right when you don't even know what is right. If there is anything that's wrong, then you're still ticking yes, this is right. Yeah. And also on the other hand, on the other side is if they actually make a mistake and charge you more, you don't know about it. You don't know how to protect your right. Yes? Yeah, so even though it's more easier, it's kind of made it to be easily used by dummies. But then you're not allowing them to actually learn. But when you own a small business, sole trader, it's totally different. I suffer every time. Yes, I know, right? But that's why accountant exist. Yes, if you're in trouble, maybe consult an accountant. Like if you don't know about your health, consult a general practitioner. Yeah, but it can be very troublesome when it's not taught properly in school. At least the basics. Yeah. Alright, enough about taxes. Okay, yes, so now we talked about who should get a vaccine. I think it's fair enough to say we need to talk about who shouldn't get a vaccine. Like I said, if you are not at risk, then don't get it, because it's not 100% safe anyways. Like you are exposing yourself to like 2 to 3% risk of having a side effect. Then of course don't get it. If you don't need it, don't get it. Vaccine is not 100% safe, like I said. So if you don't need it, you don't need to have it. Okay. Second thing is like immunocompromised patients as well, like I just mentioned just now. If you're in a really bad shape and you can't get vaccine. Also, you can't get vaccine when you're sick. So that's why doctors say if you're sick and you go in to have a vaccine, they will tell you to go home, get better, then come back for the vaccine. Just because you might have a more serious or more complicated side effects from the vaccine when you're actually sick yourself, because your immune system is fighting off another disease already. You don't want to overwhelm your immune system by giving it another task to do. Yes? So when you're sick, don't get vaccine, get better, then go and have the vaccine. But if you're chronically ill and you think you are very at risk of getting the thing, talk to your doctor and they will try and see whether there are better ways, better brand, better versions of the vaccines that you can get. Okay? Should people who have already been exposed to the actual pathogen still seek the vaccine afterwards? That's a very good question, Tilapia. Depends on your disease. So there are researchers that saying COVID, after you're getting a COVID, your immune response actually it doesn't last very long. There are newer researchers, I'm not too sure whether it's confirmed yet or not. There are researchers that saying there are particular few brands of vaccines that actually gives you a longer and stronger immune response to COVID than actually getting the COVID itself. Okay, I'm not going to tell you which vaccine because I can't remember exactly, and second, I don't want to make advertisement on my stream. But yes, ask your doctor about it. There are a few brands that's actually better than getting COVID itself. Is that why they ask if we have symptoms before getting a shot? Yes, that's right. Even if it's not COVID itself, other type, even if you have a flu, you don't want to be getting a vaccine, okay? Any type of sickness, you should still inform your doctor and let them have let them decide whether you're safe to have a vaccine or not. Yes. Yeah, on the whether or not the actual pathogen is better than the vaccine thing, the only example that I can remember is COVID. The other ones I can't really remember at the moment. Yes, so get your 5G shot, guys. Get the COVID vaccination, guys. Yes, but if in doubt, ask your doctor. Yes. I get my 5G in 2 weeks. Good for you, Couch. Is it the second shot or is it the first shot? Yes. Good for you. Alright. Part 2. Yes. Yes, good enough. Part 2. At least you're partially protected against COVID already. I don't think it's partially. You get protected fully with the first shot already. The booster just makes it stronger and last longer. Yeah. Regarding COVID having 2 shots or 3 shots, there are different opinions about it. There are one brand of vaccination that people are suggesting that if you get that brand of vaccine already, you should get a 3rd shot because it didn't work well. I'm not gonna say which one, but yeah, there is a certain brand of COVID vaccination that they say that you need to get a 3rd shot because it's not good enough. I will definitely research my options now that I understand more about different types of vaccines. That was very helpful. Yes. Research, I would say, make sure you are getting informations from creditable sources, okay? So government websites are a good source. If you look at journals like medical journals, or kind of say medical pages, hospital pages, they are pretty credential. Sorry, I can't remember my English. Yes, they are pretty good sources to get your information from, but don't get your sources from WebMD, don't get your sources from Wikipedia, those kind of things. Everyone can change the information on there. So get it from creditable sources, or even just ask your doctor if you have the time. And yeah, they are better sources of getting your information, okay? I feel totally fine for both shots, but lots of people I know got hit pretty bad with the side effects. Yes, in Inugami, yes. I will be talking about side effects in a minute, so that you know what's expected, okay? I want to ask, when would you get a booster shot, and why is it said that it needs to be a different brand from the one you first took? Well, I would say that's a 2-part question. First thing, the timing of your booster shot. So you actually need to wait for your first shot, the immune response, to die away first and becomes a memory first before you give a booster. So if you, for example, take a vaccination now and then you take a second shot 1 week later, the second shot is not going to work. It's not a booster because your first shot is still in action. It's still effective in your body. The second shot is just not going to do anything because it's there already. They're just giving a little bit extra. So a lot of times they would recommend at least 3 weeks after. Most of the people say 4 to 6 weeks. As a vet, I just find saying a month later it's good and easy to remember, so I usually tell people a month later come back. But yeah, usually 4 to 6 weeks is the standard of having a booster shot. Whether or not to get a 3rd shot, that's the different vaccine, different brand of a thing. Okay, I can't talk too much about that. It's basically what the research say, what's the company saying, whether or not it's good enough, or whether or not you need the 3rd one to get a better response. Yes. Have I finished that question? Why it said it needs to be a different brand from the first one. Yes. Whether or not you want to take a different brand, again, that's a I would say that's more a politic thing. If they're saying that you need to take a different brand, that means that the first brand you took, it's not a good enough vaccine. But they can't tell everyone. They can't go around and saying that vaccine is shit. The government can't do that. Otherwise, the drug company is going to kind of shut the government down. So the only thing they can say is they recommend getting a different brand booster, just because, yeah, probably the first one that you got is actually shit. They don't give you good enough, a robust enough immune response. That's kind of classified as a shit vaccine. I usually take anything not from a .gov website with a grain of salt, and even then I'm skeptical. Yes, well, sometimes government websites can be, depend on what information you're getting. Sometimes they can be a little bit skewed as well, like biased as well. Like I said, politics get into every aspect of your life. So I would say even if it's from a .gov, still get it with a grain of salt. It's not that they will be giving you false information. It's forbidden for them to give you false information, but they might not tell you everything. Okay, that's the issue with .gov websites. That's the issue with government. A lot of times it's political reasons. Okay, they can avoid telling you the truth, but they can't tell you false information. So whatever you get from the government website, they have to be true. Okay, have I answered all the questions? I think so. All right, what are we talking about next? All right. Well, I'm just going to go about this briefly because I think we have touched on this. Sorry, vaccinate? Listen to vaccinate? Yes. I think we've touched this here and there already. So basically, I'll just put my note here. So basically, you have less side effects, so you get less you get less clinical symptoms, you get less complications from the disease itself. So first thing, you suffer less because you don't get as as serious effects. You don't get as sick as when you're not vaccinated. Second thing is protect against serious lifelong complications. Okay, so that's another thing. Like COVID, you can get lifelong complications, like your lung, it's going to be scarred forever. There are researchers saying strokes as well, embolism. There is a lot of complications from getting COVID itself. So yes, death is the most serious complication you can get. Thank you for spending so much time prepare all this information. It's okay. No worries. You're welcome. That's what I'm just dropping down what I've learned before anyway. So I'm just writing, having a revision as well. So yeah, everything is in my brain ready. I just need to organize it to how to tell it to you guys easier. Alright, yes, so you have less effect, less complication. Next thing is what we call the herd immunity. Okay, so that means what herd immunity is. There's a two-part of this. So first thing, you protect the weak. You protect the weak, that the people who can't get the vaccine, protect the people that are more susceptible to getting the disease but cannot get the vaccine. So you're protecting the weak. Okay, that's the first part of herd immunity. The second part of herd immunity is you put what's that called, a barrier. You give what's that called, the thing that slows you from driving too fast, the bumper. Can't remember that word. Yes, it slows the spread of the disease itself, because speed bumps, yes. A buffer, yeah, those kind of words, yes. It gives speed bumps to the spread of the disease itself. So for example, someone have the disease, and then around that person that got infected, everyone actually are vaccinated. So they are not going to get that disease. So there is no way of the disease to actually transmit to the next people and to spread. Because if more and more people get vaccinated, they are less likely to give it to others. So that's another thing of herd immunity. It is still it's a very, very hard thing to do. Vaccine can actually eradicate diseases, okay? There are I can't remember, the smallpox that got eradicated. Yes, can't remember which one from human society, but yes, you can kind of kick that disease out of the reality, out of the human world. Yes, vaccine is one of the way that you can do that. Okay, when later on when we will be talking about more about animals, then I'll talk to you more about ways to kind of stop a pandemic. We might be able to have another stream talking about these things, but yes, if you're vaccinated, you slow the spread of the disease, then it's safer for the whole community. Okay, so is that, yes, so that's the reason to vaccinate. Okay, so there you go. If you can, vaccinate yourself. All right, so as what Inugami wants to know, we will be talking. Oh, why did it go small? Why did it go small? Is it still big? It's not big enough. The bigger the better. Yes, and it changes its font as well. Anyways, okay, so we will be talking about the potential side effects. Sounds like a plan. Yes, it sounds like they're not less of an actual chance of it spreading, so much as it makes a practical smaller chance by creating a smaller time window for it to spread. Not sure if I'm correct though. Yes, you're actually correct. So well, if you say the actual chance of it spreading, the mechanism of it spreading, it depends on quite a few of the factor of whether or not you can get the when you expose to a certain pathogen, whether or not you're going to get the disease itself. It depends on the concentration of the pathogen. The higher the concentration, the more likely you're actually going to develop the disease. And yes, like I said, if you have a smaller time window for it, for an infectious period, then you have a smaller chance of giving to people. You're giving to less people, okay? So you are producing a smaller amount of the pathogen, you are like going less time of spreading it away as well. Oh, hey Rio, you awake? Yes, morning Rio. Rio had a nap and slept till now. It's okay. I will have a personal tutorial with you, Rio. Yes, let's go back on that. Yes, so less concentrated pathogen and a shorter time period of spreading it. That's why I'm using the word. It's not impossible for you to spread if you are vaccinated, but it's like a speed bump. It's like a less chance of it spreading. Okay, it's not 100% still, but it helps. It helps to slow down. Slowing down is better than not slowing down. Give Rio the IKEA version. Yeah, no, she had the IKEA lesson already. I suppose less symptoms could factor in things like less coughing or sneezing. Yes, you're actually right. Very, very right. Since when I fall asleep, I have no memory. Rio, you're too tired. That's why. You need to sleep more. You need to take care of yourself. Or maybe next time I should kick you so that you come to my tutorials. No, it's okay. You just have to watch my VOD later. Alright, let's go back to the potential side effects. So we'll go from mild side effects to the serious side effects, okay? So the most common, most likely everyone have it. So is there a reason why some people get side effects from vaccines and others do not? That's a very great question. Personally, I'm not too sure. For me, I think the research is not very, very clear as well. Just not just me. Like the whole medical field is still not too sure. Some of the contributing factor would be how good your immune system is. So like I said, immunocompromised people might get a more serious issue. Whether or not you have an underlying problem. So if you have, for example, hypertension, or if you have what's that called, the thickening of the blood. the hypercoagulation. So your blood is prone to more clotting. These people might have a higher chance of having a stroke, having embolism issue. I would say different individuals have different underlying issues, their own circumstances that might contribute to different side effects. Yes. Oh, vaccination. The yeeting photos to the B cell thing. Yes, you get it. Rio got it. Rio actually knows a lot about these stuff because I talked to her a lot about these stuff. She's not as dummy as you guys think. She's actually very smart because she has a good teacher. Yes. Am I complimenting Rio or am I complimenting myself? I know Rio is smart. Yes, she's actually smart. Smart fish. Fish. Alright. It takes 2 smart people to learn. Well, you can be a one-person learner. A lot of the inventor, that's how they learn. They learn on themselves. They invent, they ask a question, they find out, and they do experiment, and then they find out about the answer. So it is possible for one person to learn on their own. Alright, so let's go back to side effects. So the most common side effects that people have is a local injection site reaction. So, for example, a swelling, soreness, redness of where the needle goes in. Most of the people will at least have this side effect, okay? Whether or not it's the vaccine itself, whether or not it's because a needle actually creates a wound in your skin, but maybe both, that it creates an inflammatory response. Oh my god, medical words it's very hard to pronounce. It's whether or not it creates the inflammation. I would say both of them, but this is the most common side effects that people have. Okay. Inventors are just their own teacher. Yes, you're right. You could end up teaching someone something stupid though. You are very true. A good teacher teaches you good stuff. I had a tender arm where it got jabbed for a couple of days, but that was all I got. Yes, that's the most common. Most of the people, healthy adults, that's what they have. But to be fair though, Couch, you only have the first vaccination. First vaccination usually have a milder response. In turn, also a milder side effect. A second vaccination, people usually get a little bit more side effects from it, okay? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people get fevers from it. Okay, so a second type of reaction, this is an allergic reaction, okay? So this is purely allergies. It's not strictly about vaccine, it's about anything that you got injected into your body, but injected, touched, eaten, anything, allergic reaction, because you're giving something to your body, so allergic reaction is still a possibility. So it can range from as mild as just a rash on your body, or a little bit itchiness in your body, to a full-blown anaphylactic reaction, okay? So anaphylactic reaction, that means your throat is closing up, you can't breathe, everything's swelling up. That's anaphylaxis. That's a very serious allergic response, and it usually comes pretty closely after you have the vaccine. So that's why a lot of vaccine centers actually ask you to sit there for at least 15 minutes to observe whether you have a bad response to it before letting you go. What they're looking for is serious allergic reaction, so anaphylaxis. Okay? Isn't an allergy reaction sort of a false immune response? That's right, yes. The allergic response, it doesn't necessarily respond to the pathogen itself. So a vaccine, it doesn't only have the pathogen, it also have a carrier, okay? It has to be suspended in a liquid to be injected into your body. So some people are actually reacting to the carrier itself rather than reacting to the pathogen itself. So in some instances, if you have an allergic response to a certain brand of vaccine, you might be able to get a different brand of vaccines and be fine with it. Okay, talk to your doctor about that if you've got allergic response to your vaccination. There is a chance that you can get another brand of vaccination and be fine. Okay, so yes, but that's something that people look at. The nurse just jabbed my capillary when I got the second jab. My blood just went whoosh, then sore as fuck the second day. In Rio's instances, what the nurse probably did is that she went too close to a blood vessel. Whenever there's a blood vessel, next to it there will be a nerve. So they usually come as a set: a nerve, an artery, and a vein. They usually come as a group of 3. So, well, to be fair though, you can't see the capillary. You can't really know where the capillary is. It's just your chance whether or not you're unlucky. Rio was very unlucky that the nurse was unluckily stabbed like near a capillary, near a nerve, and then once she injected, it will be much more painful than usual because the nerve is right next to it, and because of the soreness, the inflammation is going to be worse because it's just right next to the vessels. Rio was really unlucky because of that. Oh, it's why I had to sit in the pool for half an hour. They didn't explain anything for us. Yes. Well, like I said, they don't have the time. Epic nurse trauma. Rio was really unlucky for that. She is a really unlucky fish. She doesn't have much luck in her life. Anyways. So you could just react to the medium they used to administer the vaccine. You are absolutely right. Tilapia, you are very, very smart. You are the best student. Yes. So yes, you're right. They can just react to the carrier, the medium that they use, the liquid, rather than the pathogen itself. Is it just luck or skill when that happens? Well, it's just luck. You can't see the capillaries, especially the deep muscle capillaries. There's no way of seeing it unless you're going into advanced imaging, like what they do in hospital. But there's just no way of doing that on everyone just to take a vaccine. So yeah, a way to avoid it, to try and avoid it getting into the vein itself, into a capillary itself, is to draw back. So when you inject it and you pull back on the plunger of the syringe, if you get a flashback of blood, you know you are in a vessel. You have to take it out and jab it again for any type of medication. But sometimes if it's capillary, it's too small that they won't have a flashback, then there's no way to know. Yes, I'm just unlucky, Rio. Yes, she's just extremely unlucky. You are too nice, thank you. No, you're very smart, yes. Good thing that haven't happened to me yet, at least from what I can remember, I guess. Well, like I said, that's just chance. There is a whole area that they can jab. I can't tell you what percentage, but yeah, it's just your pure luck. Yeah, it's okay, Rio. We still love you even if you're unlucky. In that case, you're very lucky, Rio. You have people that love you. Yes. Okay. So we've gone for allergic reaction already. Next one. So I can't spell. Lethargic and fever. Okay. So getting like anyone would have experienced that after getting a vaccine, you get a little bit more tired. A little bit sore. Some people might have a fever as well. Do certain areas have a higher concentration of capillaries? Yes, definitely. So you don't want to go too close to any of the main vessels. They will have bigger vessels around there. So that's an anatomy. So any person that's doing a jabbing job, they should know a generalized anatomy of people. Most of the vaccines for people are given in the muscle. They actually have quite a lot of capillaries in the muscle. For animals, what we do, we actually put it under the skin, so it's subcutaneous. But for animals, a lot of animals like dogs and cats, they have quite a lot of loose skin around the body. People don't have much loose skin, so what we can do, the best thing we can do is jab it into the muscle. But for people, for animals, we can jab it under the skin, just pinch the skin and put it under the skin. It's less likely to hit a vessel. How to explain why buckers won't have fever? It actually doesn't. Maybe they just have a fever and they just didn't feel it. It doesn't explain that, yeah. But yes, so being lethargic and having a fever after having a vaccination, it's actually your proper immune response, okay? It's not because of the pathogen. When your immune response is on full fire, it will make your body go sore. It's a kind of a, what's that called? A side casualty? Yeah, so it's just on the side because your immune system is firing, like overfiring at the moment. You feel very sick, very, yeah. Lethargic and fever come together, or can it be just one? It can be just one. You don't necessarily have a fever when you're being lethargic. Yes. Yes, so fever is another immune response of your body. Fever, what it does is actually increases your body temperature, as what a fever is. Having a higher temperature, some of the bacteria actually will die. So bacteria or viruses, a lot of them have an optimum working temperature that they can work for. So your body is actually designed to have a fever so that they kind of suppresses the bacteria and viruses a little bit so that the immune system, immune response can fight it easier. Okay, so fever is actually a beneficial thing when you're sick. So there are controversials about whether or not you want to control the fever when you're sick. Of course, when it reaches over a certain temperature, they get permanent damage, like brain issues, like brain damages. So a lot of times, if you are, for example, over 40 degrees, they will give you anti-fever medication because that's when brain damages starts, okay? But a mild fever is actually beneficial to fighting the disease. I feel like immune responses can be more dangerous than some pathogens. So you're right, that's what COVID does. That's how you get the scarrings from the lung. That's your immune response. It's actually a two-sided, what's it called? Two-sided knife, two-edged knife. It can do very good stuff, immune response, but it also can harm you really, really bad. If you can remember Cells at Work, I think it's Black. Cells at Work Black. They have an episode that the T cells just go haywire in the body and just go attacking the hair cells, the hair follicles. That's the very good example of an overwhelming immune response. Yeah, everyone should go and watch Cells at Work. It teaches you a lot about health. White blood cells on their sun work too hard. It's not usually white. Well, yes, that's white blood cells, but it's not the white blood cells on their sun, the neutrophil that you're thinking about. It's actually the black guys. The cytotoxic T cells, the T cells that are working too hard. The buff guys, muscular buff guys. Double-edged sword. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Double-edged sword. Overworked cells, T cells. Yes, you're right, Rio. Yes. So a lot of times that's T cells that's causing all the side damage. Oh, I remember the word. Collateral damage. Yes. Oh, I'm good at English. Collateral damage. Oh, this word makes me sound professional. Buff cells. Buff T cells. Yes. Yes. So having a little fever actually is beneficial, but if you wish, keep a thermometer at home. Then in that way you can know whether the fever is going a little bit overboard and you need to take anti-fever medications. Okay? big brain air. Yes, I have a big brain. Whee! All right. So these are a little bit like the milder side effects. Another thing we've talked about just now is what we call the revert to virulence. Revert to virulence, that means giving you the actual disease. Is it okay to call you Ari? Well, you can. I prefer Edu-chan. Edu-chan. Yes, Edu. Yes. Cells at Work Black is actually super educational. Yes, but I would say go into the Cells at Work normal one first, get a basic idea of how your body works, and then go into Cells at Work Black, because Cells at Work Black is telling you about diseases, but Cells at Work tells you about what's normal. Yeah? Both. Watch both. Which is what is happening in your body. Yeah, right, Rio? You should get better. After watching Cells at Work Black, you need to be better. I just noticed you have a typo in your stream title. Did I? Vaccination, let's talk about what's... Oh, fuck. Protecting us. I'll change it. I'll change it later after we're done. Sorry. I have typo all the time. Especially when I'm using my phone. Yes, we'll change it later. Alright, so yes, another side effect is revert to virulence. If you're having a live vaccine, it can actually give you the disease. And then the bad stuff, okay? So these reactions are still in research, but they are reported quite a lot already. So, well, yeah, some of the like vomiting and diarrhea, those kind of stuff I'm not going to mention, but embolism, like I say, embolism depends on where it goes. It can be a stroke in your brain, it can be a pulmonary embolism where you can't breathe anymore, or it can be in your leg. Your leg will swell up and you will have to amputate your fucking leg. But embolism, that basically means that you have thrown a clot in your vessels. Okay, some can develop encephalitis, so that means your brain goes inflamed. Okay, that can be very dangerous. Your brain, if anything happens to your brain, you can have long-term permanent damages. There are reports saying that COVID makes people stupid. I've just read about it, but yes, there are researchers saying that COVID actually makes you stupid if you get it. Actually, I fat finger my typing all the time. Yes. My red blood cells are on drugs every day with all the caffeine. It's all pumped and running around. They don't know when to stop. What is an embolism? Oh, yes. Embolism is a blood clot. Yes. Oh, there's a bot. Anyways, ignore that fucking bot. Alright. Encephalitis. And otherwise, yes. The most serious at all complication, death. You can die from having a vaccination. That's a real thing. But how many percentage of people die? Different vaccination have different percentages, but they are very, very low. Most of them are like 1% or even less than 1%. And yeah, death is the worst side effect. You're right, yes. But it's a very real thing. So like I said, there are good and bad of having a vaccination. You have to think about that for yourself. Whether or not it's worth risking that 1% of dying on protecting your 80% of getting the disease. Okay, so there's no perfect solution to this. You just have to put things on the scale, on the scale, and try and think about which one is good for you, which one is best for you. The big red blood cells ball block your vessel. Yes, that's embolism. Yes. You have to write. If you watch Cells at Work, then you will know what I mean. The embolism. It's very visual. So yeah, that's the side effects that you can get. The good thing about this is that there are organizations that you can report adverse reaction of vaccinations to, and then they can know more about the vaccination. They can alter the vaccination, they can try and see what's actually causing the problem possibly and change the formula. So if you are having severe adverse reaction, definitely tell your doctor, and if they think that it's a serious one, they will be telling the FDA or something about the side effects that you're having. Personal experience is that my personal experience is that after I've getting the COVID vaccination in Australia, they actually sent me a survey to ask me what I've actually got, what adverse side effects I've actually got. That's actually a very, very good way of researching. You need data. Yes. But on that note of COVID vaccination side effects, the reason why people are freaking out about the adverse reactions is because the COVID vaccination get released into the wild. Is that how we say get released into the wild? Get released into the community. The vaccination get released into the community is that because we developed that vaccination so quick, a lot of things are not understood actually. It's not researched enough. We actually fast-tracked the whole vaccination develop process to release to the public. So it's very important for us to report our adverse reaction so that we know more about it and they can reformulate it if it's got a problem. I got a tech survey like 2 weeks and 1 month after the shot. Darn wild people. 2 years from now we find out it makes everyone sterile. Yes, that's actually very possible. But at this moment that's the best way of doing preventing the COVID, like trying to stop the COVID. It's true that we don't know everything about the vaccination yet, but on the other hand, we need the vaccination as quick as possible to get the community, to get the economy, everything get up and running again. So like I said, put things up on the scale and see which one is more worth to do it. Do you think it might be start to self-quarantine to wait for vaccine developments, or it's thinking that way more harmful? Depends on you. If you can stick to your self-quarantine, yes, why not? If you can stick to staying at home and not seeing anyone, including your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your partner, if you are okay of staying on your own from now on, why not? You can just not get the vaccination and wait for more research to come in. But as a basis for being a person, like being people, socializing with other people helps our mental state. We need the socialization, right? So that's why if you can take not seeing anyone, not having any human contact, then why not? Yeah, you can just not get the vaccination if you can do that strictly. But if not, people need to work, people need to go grocery shopping, people have families. If we want to get our lives back, we need the vaccine. Like I said, there it is a double-edged sword. We have to think about both ways. So it all depends to you. What is more important to you? More than just mental state, it's hard to function without others. That's right. You have to live. No human can live on its own. I don't have much interpersonal socialization, but not having any at all for the last 3 months is hard. Yes, I know, right? There are researchers saying that since the lockdown, depression, anxieties, everything is spiking up. Mental illnesses, symptoms are spiking up because we need interpersonal socialization. We need to interact with people. That's how people need to be. Yeah, so think about for that yourself. If you can do that, if you can quarantine yourself strictly, yep, I won't stop you from not getting a vaccination. There you go. If it wasn't for Twitch and Discord, I think I would have legit gone insane. Yes, I would say so as well. It's good that I live with Rio. Like, I have someone to bitch to, and I have someone to bitch about. During the lockdown. At least I have Rio to talk to.
Hello.
Hello guys. Rio just came into the room. She just woke up. Yes.
How can I beg people in chat?
Are you helping me? Oh, thank you. You're being my mod.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Rio. How shall I repay you? Do you want some lobster?
Yes, please.
Alright, we'll go have lobster this weekend because Rio is modding for me. Do you bitch about Rio to Rio? Yes.
Fuck.
All the time. That's called complaining. That's just simply complaining. I just keep talking to Rio, just keep complaining to her, and she just sit there and listen to me complain. That's bitching about Rio to Rio. Now Rio needs to do mod work. Yes, I've banned someone. Good Rio. Good Rio. Head pet.
I can't find where can I ban with my account instead of your account.
Oh, you need to make yourself mod first, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not myself.
We'll do that later.
Okay.
I don't think I've had an extended conversation in real life outside of my family outside of a year. Yeah. Do you work with any colleagues? Maybe you need some, what's it called? Gorcon. What's Gorcon in English? Like, you need to have some like parties with new friends, those kind of things. That's complaining to Rio but with extra steps. Yes. Bitching about Rio to Rio.
Huh. Rude.
What?
Rude.
Alright. Okay. So we have finished talking about potential side effects. Alright. We've talked quite a lot now. So anyone wants to ask any more questions? Let's put a smiley face here. It's so small. Can I have a big smiley face? Oh, hi.
Did Salsa want to talk about vaccination before? I think yes.
I can't remember.
More like they sucking the blood to the another.
They just got sucking blood. Yes.
Yeah, sucking
blood. Blood suck.
Black. Yeah. What was that called? Transporting the blood to someone else's body, and the blood be like, yo, what?
What's that called? Oh, you messed up my English ability.
Sorry.
Transfusion.
Transfusion.
Blood transfusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
like they work in one company, which is already black company, and they work. They
have to go again. Yeah. They have improved the black company. They had put on a strike and improved the company, and now they have going to another black company.
Yeah.
Blood suck swap.
Yeah.
Blood suck swap. I'll just go in work tomorrow and just tell people, I think your dog needs a blood suck swap.
My English. But that's the easiest way that people will understand. Like
blood suck swap.
Yeah. Suck your blood and swap.
It's like a tongue twister. Blood suck swap. Blood suck swap. Blood suck swap. It's a tongue twister.
I should write a rap for you.
Blood suck swap. Blood suck swap. I can't rap. I just take care of my disabled stepmother. She needs constant care, but I'm okay. I'm reclusive anyway. No, I just put there because I'm not.
But you're blocking yourself. That's why you're blinking.
I'm blinking because I'm a true human. Alright. Yes, tilapia. Yes. Yes. You need. That's why you might need to vaccinate yourself. Then you can protect your stepmother as well. Yes, because if she have she's not able to get vaccination, you are the one that needs to protect her.
Yeah, air unlock.
Rio, get air unlock. I don't think you can do much better. What?
Huh?
Huh? You want to lock me up?
In a cage. She won't fit. She's too big. Too huge.
You can just make a bigger cage, man.
Yeah.
All I heard was sup.
Stop.
My pronunciation is not very well. Blood suck swap. Blood suck swap.
Blood suck swap.
Blood suck swap.
Blood suck swap.
All right. enough jokes. Enough jokes around.
Yo, blood suck swap. Hey.
You actually rap pretty good. Unlock means to have a committed relationship. I don't date kids.
Hey.
Like.
Guys, call me daddy.
Fuck yeah. We are on a committed relationship.
What?
We are committed to be housemates.
Huh.
I am committed to take care of Rio and prevent her from dying from not taking care of herself.
Huh.
That's my committed relationship.
So
And Rio is committed to annoying me.
Uh-huh.
She is very committed to annoying me.
Uh-huh.
I'm joking. It means to get them in a relationship. Doctor is savage. Of course I'm savage. Yes. If you live for a few thousand years, you will be savage as well. Let me tell ya. You've seen enough bullshit around in this world. You have to be savage to get back at everyone. It's okay. I will love you both. Thank you, Couch. I love you too. We will love you too. Alright. Let's have this a question. How do any of you guys have actual dogs and cats? I'm just thinking whether or not I should go into dogs and cat vaccinations. Since we are just on 2.5 hours lecture, I can use half an hour to talk about a little bit more animal specific stuff. Dog. Sorry. Dog. Maybe I should just get into it. Not anymore. Only pets I've ever had is rabbits and guinea pigs. Oh, I can talk about rabbit vaccination, actually. Yeah. I don't have any animals. Oh, welcome, Flexible Pichu. Hello. Hello. I know you've been lurking, maybe. Yes, maybe I'll just talk about it briefly on here. So people that watches the VOD later on will still get an idea of what animal vaccines is, okay? I no longer have a pet, sadly, but I'll listen if you want to share. Thank you, Tilapia. Yes. Maybe in the future you might get a pet again. Maybe. Then you have your knowledge to take care of them later on. Alright, so just to say as a general, that's a little bit too big of a word. Let's put it 48. Okay, so for canine vaccinations, the ones that I'll just go according to Australia standard at the moment. It might be a little bit different in different countries. We have core vaccines. Core vaccines that means it's required for all the dogs to have. Okay, so there is, I'll just shorten it. So there is this Tampa virus, yes, and there is adenovirus, which is hepatitis, and parvovirus. Virus. No, I just got back from work. Oh, otsukare-sama deshita, Flexible Pichu. Yes, take care. Yes, rest. You can just sit there and listen to me talking. If you think I'm talking some too serious stuff and just kind of bombarding your brain a little bit, you can just mute me. Okay. Yes, so these are the core vaccine for dogs. These three stuff. It's because it's very common and it it's very serious in puppies. So these 3 vaccinations is what we need for all the puppies. Okay, no muting the doctor, listen and learning only. Yes. But yes, so for puppy vaccination, maybe we'll go into that when I do my puppy stream, so like an introduction stream for getting a puppy. But yes, you want to get your first vaccine for your dogs at 6 weeks old. Okay, so that's the first 3 vaccination that you need, everyone. And there are elective vaccines. Okay, so there are kennel cough vaccines. So there are 2 things: para-influenza virus and Bordetella bronchiceptica. Is that how you spell it? Bordetella bronchiceptica. Yes. Oh, I spelled it right. Studying will help me relax. Don't worry. Why would you not get the elective vaccines? Okay, like I said just now, if you're at risk, then you get it, the elective one. If you are not at risk for the thing, you don't get the elective vaccines. Okay, so like I said just now, kennel cough, it just gives you a few weeks to a few months of coughing. It doesn't kill you. And kennel cough, dogs get it from interacting with other dogs. So some people keep a Chihuahua, some people keep a Pomeranian, and they don't take out for walks at all, just because they have big enough houses or they have a backyard for them already, so they don't take them out at all, or they don't board it at a boarding facility. Then they don't have a chance of getting kennel cough because the dog is not going to see another dog, right? So in that case, you can just not get the kennel cough vaccination. So yes, that's the reason why it's at elective vaccines but not compulsory vaccines. Okay. Other elective one is leptospirosis and the canine coronavirus. Yes. And this is why you are the doctor and not me. Yes, I'm the doctor, DOGTOR, because I know dogs. Yes. So yes, the other one is leptospirosis and coronavirus. Dogs can only get it if they have interactions with farm animals and rats and mice. Okay, probably financial reasons as well. To be honest, in my clinic, C3, which is a core vaccination, I'm not going to tell you how much, but it's a certain price. And the C5 that has kennel cough and C3 in it is just $10, 10 Australian dollars difference. So it all depends on how the clinic make it as well. So if you want to encourage people to get a better vaccination, don't make it too big of a price difference. So people would just say, oh, it's just $10, I'll just get it. It's better for my pet. It's just $10, right? So that is incentive for people to get vaccinated, to vaccinate their dog as well. So yes, that is human psychology. Yes. So yes, on leptospirosis and coronavirus. So if your dog is working at a farm, so they are working dogs that herd cows, sheep, alpacas, horses, then I would recommend getting vaccinated with leptospirosis as well. And also if you have rat and mice. So if you know that you have a lot of rat and mice running around your area, they do carry leptospirosis as well. So other than the farm animals, the ruminants, the big farm animals, I usually recommend people, if they keep chicken, if they keep rabbits outside, rats and mice do come by and eat their feed. So in a lot of backyard chicken farmers, they will have rat and mice because of the feed, because of they think that there is a good good feeding ground for them. So I would recommend them to get the what we call C7. So C7 has the core vaccine, has the kennel cough, and has the leptospirosis and coronavirus as well. Why do farm animals carry these viruses but not other animals? That's a very good question. That's how that specific type of bacteria or virus work. So not every viruses or bacteria is specific to one type of animal. That's what we call zoonosis. Well, that's not zoonosis. Zoonosis means that the disease, animal disease, can give it to people. But there are a lot of communicable. Oh, that word. There's a lot of diseases that can be shared between a lot of different type of animals. It's actually how nature works. So if we imagine a certain type of bacteria only infects a certain type of animals, if first thing, they don't spread as fast and as good in a bacterial point of view, they are not thriving. So if they can infect multiple types of animals, they are a more successful bacteria. Okay. I had an Australian Shepherd and she was the best dog I ever had, and I'd love to have another. They're herding dogs, so this may be helpful. Yes, that's right. I would recommend C7 for them. The top range stuff. So why? Oh no, I have that already. So why do the farm animals not need the vaccine too? So that's another thing. There are natural hosts of certain bacteria. So certain bacteria may not cause a problem in certain animals. That's how they spread that fast, because they are not causing an animal to die. They're not causing an animal to have a disease. They can thrive because they are not killing themselves off when the animal dies. Okay. Most of the pathogens have a natural host. So, for example, SARS and COVID, we are suspecting that it comes from wild animals. The natural host is in bats or a certain type of cats, serval cats or something. Most of them have a natural host that they can thrive in and they don't die. But then when they get into a different type of animals, then they can cause the diseases. Okay, so a lot of the times it's not about the certain bacteria, it's about the wrong bacteria in the wrong animal body. Then it starts causing trouble. Okay, yes. But farm animals do have vaccinations as well. They have different type of vaccinations. Like I said, it's the incentive of vaccinating them. So, for example, if leptospirosis affect farm animals as well. But if a certain type of bacteria don't affect you, why are you vaccinating against that bacteria? It's not going to cause a problem. That you have to have the incentive of vaccination to really develop the vaccination and do it. So if you're not having a problem, why do the vaccination? Viruses' life cycles are often dependent on how animals behave. Transmission from one species to another can be rare but deviating. Yes, you're right, yes. I use life cycle loosely because viruses aren't technically alive. Sorry for taking up so much of the chat area. No, it's fine. It's good explanations. People need to know that as well. But it's very technical stuff. If people are interested, then I might explain a little bit more in depth later on, but I don't want to drag this stream too long, so I will just stop here. Diseases are assholes. Diseases are a state of causing a bacteria causing trouble in you. They are still trying to live. They are just trying to make a livelihood. If you're saying that I would say human are a type of disease for the earth. So yes, I know human are assholes as well, but it's just when things are going haywire. We are just making our livelihoods. We are not necessarily trying to harm. We are not aiming to harm, right? So the bacteria is not aiming to harm. They're not assholes. They're just trying to live, but they're just living in you and making you sick. Yeah. So we should remove humans for the betterment of the earth. Gotcha. Yes, I would say let's remove half of the human population.
Thanos.
Yes, I'm going to become a Thanos. Thanos is actually my idol. I do adore Thanos' ideology. I think he's actually doing good. But then in the perspective of American movie, the heroism, Thanos is a bad guy. So, well, I do think a lot of people adore Thanos' ideology as well, the ideas as well. So that's why many people like Marvel stuff. Yes. I think you just quoted the Matrix. Humans are a disease. Yes. I've actually watched Matrix when I was like a lot of years ago, so I can't remember much of the movie now. I wonder if Thanos put himself in the 50-50 chance and got lucky or not. Well, I think he's out of the 50-50 chance because of he got all those things, but he's determined to kill himself afterwards anyways. So he has no will to live. So what's the English again? The idaisa.
Huh?
The Japanese is idaisa. The 伟大. Nah.
No,
The thing about Thanos is that he's willing to sacrifice himself for the betterment of the universe. Yeah, after he has done his plan, he just do whatever I want. You can just kill me. I've done what I want already. I've done the good. At least the MCU Thanos never read any comics. Yes.
Look what humans have done to the ocean.
Yeah, I know, right? Look at this trash. Isn't it neat?
When did you think my
Collection's complete? I loved Thanos more when his reason for wiping half of the population is to please Lady Death. Yes, I know, right? It's a different reason in the comic. The movie Thanos has a much bigger plan. Comic Thanos is just a Lady Death simp, but I think he's a lot more threatening in the comics, so I like him more. Thanos is one of the best bad guys. Fantastic motive. I know, right?
Did you just eat all my veggies? Oh, there's only a few pieces left. Huh?
Rio is eating my leftover salad from this afternoon, and she's complaining that I've eaten all the vegetables and just leaving the meat for her. You should be happy. I've left the chicken for you.
That's why you're just kusa.
Yeah, I like to eat vegetable more than meat.
Oh, I was looking for some good food, and
I think there's lettuce in the fridge. You can just chop a little bit of lettuce and put it in there. Right. Meat is best. Inugami says meat is best. Chicken left out since this afternoon and Rio's still eating it. No, I've put it in the fridge. It's safe. It's fine. It's not really leftover salad then,
You put it in the fridge? No, you just left it on the table.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
And you're still eating it?
Yeah. We're not gonna waste it.
You're gonna have diarrhea.
No.
Did I forget to put it in the fridge?
Yeah, you forgot.
Oh shit.
The squid is on the table as well.
Oh, I have a small brain.
Good job.
Lol, Rio. Okay. Alright, if Rio can't stream for tomorrow, you guys know it's my fault.
Yeah, look at this, look at that, look at this doctor.
Bitch.
Yeah, look at this bitch. She's just trying to drug me, you know.
At least I can treat you afterwards. I have medication to treat you afterwards.
That's not how it works. Am I just a guinea pig, like to test out everything?
Yeah. How is it your fault if Rio steals your food? See? You steals my food. That's your own fault.
No, it's just you said you're not gonna finish it, and I told you to make it a takeaway. Yeah, I told you to bring it home, and I can finish it.
Fuck yeah. All right. Rio is a big girl. She can choose to not eat it. It's her fault. Yeah.
Guys, I haven't had my dinner. How can you guys be so cruel? That's what I left. That's what I have in my fridge. I mean, no, it's not.
Not your fridge.
Yeah.
Make your own food.
God damn it. I'll just eat instant noodle then.
Okay, so we are done with the dog vaccination. Let's just quickly go to cat vaccinations. Okay, so again, this is too big of a font. I don't like it. Okay, so the core vaccination, so the vaccination that cats need again. First thing, feline panleukopenia virus. That's the feline parvovirus, if you know the old word for it. Then Calisi virus, Calisi virus, and herpes virus. Okay, so these three are the core viruses that all cats, all kittens would be recommended to have it as well. Okay, so again, 6 weeks. The first vaccination is 6 weeks. Sorry. Is it true that you should let cat eat wet food over dry food? No. It depends. Again, it's on individual circumstances. Some cats don't have any more teeth. Then wet food is all they can eat. If they have sore teeth, wet food is all they can eat. Wet food is better for giving moisture to cats because cats don't drink much. They are notorious for not drinking. So wet food wise, there is the benefit of doing that. But wet food is actually bad for teeth because, well, cats don't brush their teeth. Wet food is more stickier on the teeth, so it creates more dental issues later on. Dry food wise, again, it's dry, but benefit of dry food is you can leave it out for the full day and just leave it out and it will not go bad. The cat can just come and go and graze on it, which a lot of cats will do. And it cleans the teeth a bit better as well. So it's not one over the other. It really depends on what your cat is, how your cat is, and you decide what's the best for her. I personally do a combination. So I do feed dry food in the morning and feed wet food at night for my cats. Yes. So dog diseases can't transmit to a cat or vice versa. Depends. There are some that you can transmit through each other. Like for example, ringworm. Ringworm, all of the animal can get it. Any animal, even reptiles, even frogs, can get ringworm. Some certain type of parasites, you can give it to each other. So you have to specifically tell me about which diseases are you talking about before I can tell you whether or not it's transmissible between each other. Oh, TikTok give me the wrong advice then. TikTok is not the best way of getting information, man.
Yeah, don't install TikTok.
Yeah,
Stupid
TikTok is stupid people. TikTok get too many stuff.
False information.
Yeah, again, so you have to talk to your vet and tell them what's kind of discuss about the individual's circumstances. Then they can tell you whether or not it matters of giving wet food or dry food. Yes, that's why I never installed TikTok. Yeah, it just wastes you a lot of time. It just wastes your time, and yeah, it just gives you false information. Like, nah, I'm addicted to TikTok. A better thing to addicted to is me. Get addicted to me, then you get proper information. Yes. Rio is making me a face. I just don't understand TikTok, right? There's too many time wasting stuff on there. Yes, doctor, yes. Get addicted to me. We're gonna be high from you. Well, being addicted and getting high is a different thing. It's a different thing. So you're saying that I'm giving people highs, right? I would like to develop a doctor addiction. Well, as long as I'm not a bad addiction. I have a sugar addiction, which is bad. Alright, continue on elective ones for cat. So, I'll just keep typing, okay? So, feline leukemia and FIV. FIV is just a cat version of AIDS, okay? And chlamydia. Okay. I just realized Fukai Rio. Fukai is Japan for deep and Rio is Spanish for river. Oh, it's Rio. Is Rio Spanish for river?
Oh,
Her
honto?
Honto?
No, fukai.
Fukai is Japanese for deep.
Yeah, but the kai I wrote is sea.
For sea. Fukai.
Yeah,
deep sea.
Deep
Yes.
sea. Fukai Rio. I never know. Because Rio, it just sounds like Leo, you know, Leo. So it's like lion.
A lion, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Spanish for river.
Oh, soka.
Oh, it's a double meaning. It's a good meaning.
Whoa.
Wow. No, we have no idea about Rio being river in Spanish as well.
Yeah.
If this addiction makes me learn something, then this might not be that bad at all. Yes, yes. So that's a good addiction. Sounds epic. Deep sea river sounds epic. It's actually a real thing. We can discuss about that. There are actually river under the sea. Yes,
Oh?
yes, yes. We will talk about that later. How is feline leukemia different to people leukemia? Well, the mechanism is the same. That's why we use leukemia. Leukemia, this word, it's a word for white blood cell cancer. It's a blood cancer, okay? The feline leukemia, sorry, I should put the virus in there. It's a viral form of leukemia. It's a virus-inducing leukemia, okay? So Rio just woke up from a nap. How is Rio going to sleep tonight? She's not going to sleep, I guarantee ya.
Yay.
Alright, yes. So it's different from people leukemia virus. In that feline leukemia virus is not going to give it to people. So it's specific to the animal. But function-wise, like how it works-wise, it's similar. Okay, so for cats, for feline leukemia virus, I would recommend for cats that live with a lot of other cats. Okay, so for example, like foster carers or rescuers of cats from the streets that they just put a lot of cats all together. Feline leukemia virus spread by what we call love. So when they groom each other, when they live with each other, it's how they spread, okay? So if you have a multi-cat household, you have a lot of cats, I would recommend feline leukemia virus to be vaccinated as well. Okay? But you can test for it. So for example, you have one cat and you know that she doesn't have it and you're ready to get another cat, there is a choice of testing for the virus. If both of your cats, all of your cats don't have that virus, then you don't have to vaccinate them if they're not going to see another cat. Okay? So again, whether or not they're at risk. So if you have a positive feline leukemia virus cat, then vaccinate all of your other cats. Okay? Rio lives on degen hours. What's degen? Or doctor's house? Yes, in my house. I got 5 cats. But all of them don't have feline leukemia virus, so I didn't vaccinate them against for it because they don't have it. Okay? And they're not going to see other cats. Next, FIV, AIDS, feline AIDS. Degen is degenerate. You live on degenerate hours.
What's that?
You die.
Huh?
You don't thrive. You should wake in the morning and sleep at night, right?
What if I just don't sleep?
That's degenerate hours. That's what they say. Degen hours.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
24 hours not enough for me.
Okay. Next is the AIDS one. So like AIDS, it kind of suppresses the immune system. Oh, hi, Kiba. Hello. Feed you. What do you want to eat?
I have leftover salad. Do you want some?
Fuck yeah. You just want to poison Kiba.
And some leftover squid as well. It has been.
Have you put it in the fridge yet?
Just chuck it. Come on. Or I'll eat it.
Maybe we can just microwave it and eat it again. We'll see.
Yeah.
Poisons. Okay. Feline AIDS. So, unlike human AIDS, HIV, that is transmitted sexually. Okay. Feline AIDS, it's transmitted by fighting. So whenever two cats fight, if one of them have feline AIDS and they fight with each other and they make a wound, so they have a bite wound or a scratch wound, they will give the feline AIDS to each other. So it depends on the fighting risk. So if you have a male not desexed cat and they run around outside, then I would recommend them to be vaccinated for FIV. Okay? If you have an FIV cat at home, same thing, and you have more cats, then I would recommend vaccinating the other cats for FIV as well, because they might fight with each other. Okay? So that's the feline AIDS. Chlamydia. Chlamydia is spread by close contact as well. So same thing. If you have a multi-cat household, then I would recommend doing chlamydia as well. Okay, so that's cat. I think Rio is very hungry. She's biting me. She's trying to bite me. The cat has some insane bonus attributes. Well, yeah, because cats do roam a lot more than dogs. In Australia particularly, technically cats are legal to roam, so you can let your cat out and they can just go around the whole area, and it's very hard to catch cats. So there is a very big feral cat community and people are rescuing cats and stuff. So yeah, there is a lot of kind of like factors to go into when we think about like cat stuff. Yes, koalas have chlamydia too. Yes, you're right. I'm not too sure whether the vaccination works, but chlamydia is one of the things that's killing koalas off in the wild. It is a legit problem out there. So, yeah, scientists are trying to help koala and treat koala for chlamydia, but we'll see. Tilapia say you're kinky. No, she's just a fish. A lionfish just likes to bite everything. She bites the cat as well sometimes.
Huh? What? Bye-bye.
No, she has... Bye. Huh? Bye. Nothing. Oh, wait. Go. The cat wants to come in. Alright. So that's the cat vaccination. If anyone wants to talk more about it, we can talk about it on kitten stream. We might have a kitten stream later on, okay? Because we're running out of time. We're like on 3 hours, close to. We're just going to get a little bit with rabbit vaccination, okay? So it's very easy. It's just calicivirus for rabbits. There's just one vaccination at the moment that's available to rabbits. And it's spread by mosquitoes, okay? So again, whether or not you want to vaccinate your rabbit, it depends on the risk. If you have an indoor rabbit and you have mosquito nets on your windows and doors, it is acceptable to not vaccinate your rabbit because it's spread by mosquitoes. As long as you keep the mosquitoes out, it's very low chance of having a calicivirus for rabbits. If you have an outdoor rabbit, so if you put your rabbit outside in your yard, roaming around, or if you do put your rabbits out for outdoor timings, I would recommend getting the calicivirus, the vaccination. Okay, some people still play it safe, even if they have an indoor rabbit. They do still play it safe and vaccinate them. It's acceptable. Okay. Now, again, you have to talk to your vet about the frequency of vaccination. Different brand, different vaccination have a different frequency. So I'm not going to go deeper into this at the moment, but I'm just going to briefly introduce you guys. Okay, so calicivirus is just for rabbits. Then we got a lot of different vaccinations for cows and sheep and alpacas. They are mostly Clostridium diseases. We have vaccinations for horses. For horses, I can type it down because I can remember for horses. We get strangles. We get tetanus vaccinations because horses get tetanus pretty common. Okay, they are very sensitive to tetanus. And we get Hendra virus vaccination as well. So again, depends on your risk factor. For most of the horses, I do recommend get strangles and tetanus vaccination. Like I said, because horses are stupid. Did I say it before? Horses are quite stupid. They get hurt all the time. They get caught into wires. They get stepped into nails. They get stuck onto fences, all those kind of stuff. So I do recommend having tetanus vaccination regularly for horses, just because they are stupid. Okay, tetanus goes. You can get tetanus by having wounds. So if you have a wound and they get exposed to the Clostridium tetani, then you can get tetanus. Okay, so all the horses should have at least tetanus vaccination. Strangles is spread by horses to horses. I would recommend if you have more than one horses. And yes, I used to have horses in my backyard. They would get stuck in fences like every week. Yes, I know, right? They are stupid. They are like a big fucking rabbit. They function like a rabbit as well, so they are pretty stupid. Mules are the superior equine creature. Mules are the mixture, right? But then you cannot breed mules, isn't it? Like mules are donkey mixes with horses. Yes. You can't breed them though. Rabbits get away with being stupid because they are so cute though. I personally don't think rabbits are cute just because I've worked with so many asshole rabbits. They look cute. They look cute on their face. But then their personality is not cute at all. They are actually aggressive. They are very aggressive and they are very savvy. So I don't like rabbit that much, but I do treat quite a lot of rabbits. Male mules are sterile. Yes, that's what I mean. I think the females are sterile as well. My rabbits would fall asleep in my pockets. Oh, that's really good. That's really cute. That means she trusts you. You have disciplined your rabbit. Oh, I envy you. Yes, I'm jealous. All the rabbits that come into the clinic to see me, they are all assholes to me. All right. Hendra virus. Hendra virus. The significance of Hendra virus is that it can give it to people and people can die from it. That's why it's better to vaccinate your horses if they are at risk of Hendra. Horses get Hendra from bats. Okay, so if you live in a Hendra epidemic places, vaccinate your horses with Hendra. So at the moment it's more on the eastern side of Australia that I know of that there is Hendra here. So a lot of the like the horses community, horse racing communities request your horse have to be vaccinated with Hendra before they allow you to compete. Okay, and if you have fruit trees in your yard, in your paddock, and you have seen bats walking around, I would recommend definitely vaccinating them for it, because that's where they get the Hendra from bat peas. Okay, so many horse races. Yes, I know. Yeah, they got pacing, they got galloping, they have a lot of horse races. But yes, if the horses go for races, then yes, vaccinate them for Hendra, definitely. It's the rules anyway, so you have to. Yes, so that's horses vaccination. We can go into ferret a little bit. So ferret, you need to vaccinate them against distemper virus, the canine distemper. What? because they can get canine distemper and die. Okay, so yes, ferret, the only thing you need to vaccinate against is canine distemper. What else? I think that's all that I can remember. Yes. Ferrets are so cool, but kinda high maintenance. Well, they are not very high maintenance. What about rats? Well, there are... I don't know any vaccination for rats. Whether or not because they don't worth it to have vaccination. So that's why there's no company developing vaccinations for rats. And also, a lot of people just don't bring them into vets. There are a lot of mice and rats that come into me that are on their kind of late stage of their life. That means that they are dying anyways. So a lot of people don't bring them for regular vet checks, let alone vaccinations. So I think we have space to develop, to improve on small animal, exotic mammal healthcare. But at the moment, I personally don't know any about rat vaccinations. My fluffy noodle girl, yes. No, we have a ferret. fluffy noodle girl, fluffy girl. That's a ferret. But yes, so we vaccinate them for canine distemper for ferrets. Is there any more questions that we have? Let's just chat for 5 minutes or so. If anyone have any questions, just shoot them in the chat, then I'll try and answer them. Okay? Yes. At the meantime, I can show you something that I have in my clinic. Let's move this way. Don't you have descent? The female ferrets, they have sensitive digestive system. No, it's actually, I would say it's illegal to do desenting on ferrets in Australia because it's classified as a cosmetic surgery. So desenting ferret doesn't do any help for the ferret itself. What it does is just reduces smell. So some people would do it just because they don't like the smell of ferret. But in that case, if you don't like the smell of a ferret, if you don't tolerate it, then why having a ferret in the first place? So I don't recommend desenting ferrets. Okay, and they have sensitive digestive systems. Not really. Ferrets are obligate carnivores, so they can only eat meat. They cannot digest other type of nutrients, so they can't digest fibers, cellulose. They can't digest much of carbohydrates and fat. They are mostly protein source. Yes, I think I asked all my questions as I got them. That's good for you, Couch. You mistype? What did you mistype? Anyways, did you talk about booster shots earlier in the stream? Yes, I did, yes. I plan to rewatch again too. Good. Inugami, it's me. What is you? What's you? I'm a ferret. Oh, are you a ferret? I thought you said it's Inugami. I thought you're a dog because it's Inu. You're a ferret. Okay. You're a ferret. Now I know. I love ferrets. I can take good care of you. Alright. Oh, it's not super important what I mistyped. I still learned a lot. That's good. I'm glad that everyone learned stuff today. I want to show you guys this. Can you see it? Oh, I can't really do that. Can I do this? Whee! Can you see it? Oh, it's too blurry. Can you see that thing on my table here? Oh, it's too blurry. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, the smell of ferrets would become fried rice. Not really that stinky. Rio, you're crazy. I like how your computer is. That clipboard. Yes, that clipboard. It's actually my patient history for Rio. But because we can't show it to you anyway, so we're just gonna leave it today. I'll show you maybe next time. That's what Rio has. Let me put this back. Whoop. There you go. Alright. Hey! Patient privacy. There is no real privacy in this stream, in this channel. We have patient privacy, but we don't have real privacy. Fried rice. Yes. Sometimes ferret smells like fried rice. Like soy sauce fried rice. I see a collar. Yes. The collar is for dogs. It's for naughty dogs that I have to restrain them. And the rope behind is for when I need to restrain naughty animals, okay? So if I need to do something to the animals and they're struggling too much, I might have to tie them up so that I can do a proper diagnosis test and I can properly do what I need to do on them, hey? Yes. I guess animals don't get doctor-patient confidentiality. No, they actually get it. It's more so to the owner. So the patient don't have. Well, we are legally allowed to give the confidential information to the owners, the legal owners, but we cannot expose any of the information to anyone that asks. So, for example, if a breeder comes in with a puppy vaccination and the buyer later on comes in and asks for the history and asks for what we have done with the puppy when it was under owner's name, we cannot tell the puppy's owner, okay, the new owner. So they will have to personally contact the breeder themselves to get the permission to get to expose that information first before we are legally allowed to give it to them. So we can only expose it to the owners. Right. I wish we can apply those BS zoom and enhance things from movies in this scenario and just to see that. I actually have it when I made this clinic room like pretty clear, but because I've exported it into a PNG at the moment, so I can't zoom in and let you have a look. It's just not a good enough resolution. Maybe if Rio says okay, then I might show you guys later on. Rio needs to be treated with lots of love. I shall assist with the administering of this. No real privacy, yes. Kiba smells like seafood pizza. Pizza, which means Kiba smells like she's been cooked. How often do you make a cat taco? Quite often actually. Depends on the cat. If a cat is aggressive but handleable, maybe 3-4 times a week. Yeah, we just wrap them up and just get whatever we need out of the taco. It's actually very useful. Maybe later on when we have a stream that's we particularly talking about cats, I can show videos of techniques of doing these things. Doctor, I'm not a pizza, right? You are not a pizza yet. Kiba, not a pizza yet. If you're not a good fish, you might become a seafood pizza soon. Oh, that's new to me. That's actually interesting about the owner having confidentiality. We need to have those legal terms around. We can't just run around and telling everyone that that person's dog got parvovirus or that person's dog have an issue. But in that case though, we do have clients that have we do have breeders, we do have pet shops that have dodgy stuff, but we cannot tell the buyers because of the confidentiality thing. We cannot put it onto like social media and expose them, just because it's legally we're not allowed to do it. We see a lot of dodgy stuff, like shady stuff happening all the time. It's just a shame that we cannot expose them. Should do a stream talking about Karens. We will, like Karens in the vet industry. Yes. Wait, the background isn't real? No, unfortunately, it's just a picture at the moment. If we need a real background, please invest, please donate. Then I might be able to invest in a real background that everything can be moved. That would be fun, watching videos of Karens flip out. We can watch Karens flipping out on YouTube videos or TikTok videos and stuff, but I cannot actually film the Karens in my shop. Stop exposing me. Neat. Yet fish pizza. Doctor is threatening her patients. Kiba is not my patient. Kiba is my manager, and I am allowed to threaten my own manager. Yes. Cat taco and fish pizza. I'm not a pizza. Yes, that's why I say you're not a pizza. Just yet. If someone buys a dog and the owner doesn't tell them of vaccines they have had, does that mean they can get double vaccinated? Yes. So of course we do recommend them to communicate with the breeders and tell them what they have, and when they have it, and have a vaccination card. That's ideal. But if they have dodgy breeders, or if they have adopted a dog, we have a stray dogs that running around, got caught by the shelter, and they are getting they are going into the clinic, then yes, then we usually just do double vaccinate them. Yes, I think the background is not big enough. Anyways, yes, but we do commonly double vaccinate. Well, we don't even know whether we are double vaccinating them or not, but we do. If we have a stray dog that comes in and is ready to be adopted, we vaccinate them anyways. Yes, just to be safe, on the safe side. Why there's a tumor on my cat's belly? Oh, that's a nipple, man. Oh god, we need to show that video one day. I would kind of collect all those vet memes, and we'll have a meme review stream soon. Yes. Did you guys end up getting nuggets revenged from Among Us stream? We actually changed our minds and we got steak. We got steak and salads. We'll eat nuggets tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Where is my bite? Well, we have finished all of it. Kiba, you are too slow. You are late to the dinner. That's why there's no. Mechas run now. No, Inugami, no. We are going to have leftover food from this afternoon that is left out of the fridge. Yes, we're going to have some possible diarrhea. That's good. Alright. Is everyone good for today? At least give Kiba some of the steak sauce or something. Maybe the bone. Maybe we can just leave the bone for Kiba. Leftover salad, let's go. Salmonella chicken. Salmonella chicken, woohoo! That's why I say, if Rio can't stream tomorrow, you know why. Kiba could use some steak sauce. She's kind of flavorless right now. Oh, that's a good roast. Kiba, you're flavorless. Put some salt. Rio, get some salt from under your armpit and put it on Kiba. Yeah. Like, Rio stream with a PNG only as she poops all day. She just sits on the toilet and just talk. What armpit salt? Oh, you don't know about that. On my other stream, Rio says she was showering and she finds salt under her armpit or something. Yes. Oh, there's something I want to apologize for a little while already now. Like, watching the VOD and like today, I realized that I'm always out of tracking. I always like have spontaneous twitching of my eye, and sometimes I do stop moving. That's my fault. I have a very, very bad habit of putting my hand on my face so it stops the tracking, and I have a very bad habit of moving around when I talk as well, so I go out of the tracking a lot of times as well. So it's not Mama's fault. Mama actually rigged me pretty well, and I move properly when I'm properly tracking, but then my bad habits of moving in and out of the camera, it's an issue. That's literally every VTuber though. Yes, but then when I watch the VOD, I cringe a little bit because of those little mistakes. I didn't even notice it. Oh, that's good. Thank you, guys. It might not be that noticeable when I'm playing games, like because I'm small, but when I am big like this, yes, when I'm huge like this, it does cause a little bit of trouble. It's okay, your jiggle physics make up for all the mistakes. Yes? You like the jiggle? You guys are so lewd, but I like it. I love it. Good jiggle. Just if I can jiggle the other part of my body as well. Yes. Alright then, we are at 3 hours and 20 minutes mark. So, he said no question is too dumb. Can I ask an exceptionally dumb one? Yeah, go ahead. I'll tell you if it's too dumb, but you can still ask it. Shoot ahead. Oh, never mind if you're wrapping up. No, you can still ask a question. We can take a last question. Last question, guys. Tilapia, ask your question. The jiggle distracted me. Yes. If I dance. Do we want some dance? Hopefully we can dance soon. Looks like a cold shower before bed. Yes. Cold shower is good sometimes. It calms you down. Alright, if Tilapia is not asking the question, let's wrap up then. Yes? So, if you guys have any more questions on tonight's stream, you guys can tag me. No, it's too stupid for me to ask. I might get the courage later. Yes, save it. When you have your courage, then you can ask later. Increase your pain tolerance. Hell yes. On cold showers? Yes. Alright. Mama just reduced my jiggle from the last L2D update. You know why? Rio? Because you don't have jiggle. You don't have jiggle, Rio. Yes. Now I can't sleep. We'll be thinking of your questions. Guess I'm an orphan now. No, you still have a mama. But doctor has a point. Yes, Rio doesn't need jiggle. Rio need teeth. The real teeth is a good accent. The real teeth is what it's her beauty point. Shut up, Shut up. Don't force it, Rio. If you don't have it, you don't have it. But Rio new outfit spicy. Technically that's not a new outfit, that's her swimsuit. That's always under her jacket. Mama just made it removable. It's okay, Rio, we love your boobs too. I'm wearing sports bra, that's why. Yes, you're wearing sports bra. You don't need the jiggle. No, Rio still got a little bit. Alright, we're talking about too much boobs now. We're talking too much about jiggles now. Alright, we should end the stream. Alright, while you guys are talking, I will just go ahead and look for someone to raid. Let's see. Oh, someone's playing Among Us today. Let's just raid Among Us. Yes. Oh, that's a 15. That's 15 person large group Among Us stream. Alright, let's rate its Moon Jelly. It's Moon Jelly 0. Among Us, yes. Sass. I don't think I have my rate message yet. Oh, we'll try the rate message. Rate. Let's copy so we don't do the same mistake that Rio done. Sass, yes. And I got yelled by my mother for shouting Among Us like an idiot. Alright. Are you guys ready to rate? Yes. Good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Let's see whether I have my rate message. No, I don't have a rate message. Fucking hell. Alright, Rio, fix it for me tomorrow. I've definitely typed a rate message, but it's not working. Let's do dog rate as well. Let's just do that. You guys can make it more if you want. Alright. The bot isn't in the chat. Yes, I'm not too sure why. We'll do it again later. Alright, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? Good night, everyone. Have a nice sleep or have a nice day if you guys are having a good day, okay? Alright. Oh, Rio's message is better. Thank you. Thank you, Rio. Alright. Alright. Let's go. See you guys next time. Bye.
Parade! Be for the raider, Salveo! Welcome, welcome! What parade? Be for the raid, welcome! Welcome, raiders! I hope you had a wonderful stream! Welcome! Welcome, everybody! Thank you for all the follows! Hi! Welcome! Do you have a good day later? I am just playing spectator mode.